This is it. The ultimate movie opinion of 2018. This is it. Nobody cares about Oscar. Who the fuck cares? This is Movies Are Real Best of 2018 discussions. I am your host, George Cruz. I'm here with Ryan Lance. Ryan, how are you?
Rock and roll, man.
It's happening. Wake up, Ryan. This is real.
It's happening.
It's real. This is real.
We're talking about movies.
Go. Tell me your opinion about the fucking. I can't think of a funny movie bit, so forget about it. Carrie.
I am ready to talk about The Boss Baby. Finally.
Oh, no, that wasn't this year. We watched.
What year is it?
We watched it. We watched it this year, but
Was that 2017?
that was 2017. No, it was.
Oh,
What?
It
Yeah.
feels like it's been a part of my life for so long.
Yeah, it was. I am like almost certain Boss Baby was 2017, but we're not talking about that piece of shit year 2017. We're talking about 2018, baby.
Yeah. So yes, this is our best of 2018 discussions. If you fucking stuck around for that cold open, we're about to have opinion. We're about to have critical and maybe not so critical conversations about the movies of 2018 and rank them.
George, we were ranked the most critical podcast. Remember that?
That's true.
So it's gonna be real. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
it's true. We're gonna give it to Black Panther. Everything. It's every
Everything.
word.
Best.
And
I
Vice.
don't think Black Panther's on here.
Oh no,
at
I think
all.
it's one. That movie feels. If you told me that movie was from 2016, I'd believe you because man, that feels like 5 years ago.
Well,
But yeah, so we are here to discuss categories and movies underneath that movies, moments, and actors and actresses and other such things. We're here for each category apart from our top 10, right? Our final top 10. We are looking for one winner and two runners up. So with that being said, I think. I think we saw more. I think we saw more on this list as a group. At least I did. I think I did a better job than I did last year of watching everything that we wanted that mattered to everyone in here. There's some notable exceptions. Some that I guess can't watch now because it's not. Didn't see in theaters. Now it's not out digital or whatever. But yeah, we can't watch every single movie that's out there. So that's the disclaimer. We don't have that power.
we did not see Vice. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what are some notable ones?
Might
I
as well
haven't seen
leave
yet?
now if you're a big
Vice
fan.
guy over here.
I didn't see Vox Lux. I really wanted to see that.
Yeah, because that one's like, how do you even watch it now? Like, it's not. Yeah.
I don't know.
'Cause
It
that
was playing in theaters around here for
It
a little
was.
bit. I just
But
didn't
now
get a
it's
chance
like
to see it.
not. Yeah.
It'll be on digital eventually, probably.
Yeah. That's an A24. No.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
I thought so. So yeah, if we forget to mention a movie, it could be either that it didn't spoke to us, or maybe we just didn't see it, so we don't have anything to comment on it. Even though I said at the beginning of this conversation that we are the final authority on all movie opinions, we aren't actually the final authority on all movie opinions.
Hold on.
George, I signed up for this podcast for one reason.
I've been told that we've been demoted. It's no longer us. It's Barstool Movies, or the fuck is number one. So we need you to like make more inappropriate comments, Ryan, and that'll really boost us up.
Define inappropriate.
Like very misogynist, very white, very straight opinions.
I got some good news for you. I fail all of those categories.
Oh, that's great. So after this, we'll really skyrocket. So. Yeah, I think that's all the stuff, the ceremony I gotta get out of the way. Am I forgetting anything, y'all?
No, but what are the categories we're talking about today, George?
Right. So, we're probably, unless one of these goes really long, we have to split into 3 days. We're doing 2 days, or 2 parts podcasts. Today we'll be talking about best style, best horror movie, worst movie, and standout moment. Through the discussions, we'll try to do our best to look at the list as we cut and paste stuff, because we all have the Google Doc here with the nominees. We'll do our best that way you aren't lost as to what we're talking about. So yeah, I guess let's start with best style. We should also probably describe what these categories, and style I think is probably the most nebulous. I like to think of it as a movie with a swagger. Like a movie that's got like a special thing, like it stands out either through like visually, the performances, or mostly visually and like music, I think, or like costumes. Like it's sort of I think of it as a thing that encompasses sort of a lot of the visual and audio, and maybe like the tone and theme. It's I don't know.
As opposed to like the direct, like the film itself, this is like how it, the visual and auditorial aspects.
And we're also not movie creators, so we can't say best cinematography because I don't know shit.
The Neon Demon Award. That's what I'll call this.
Or the Blade Runner 2049.
So, and by
Runner
that,
2049 is
if your movie
just the
has
best
neon
movie
in
ever
it, we are
made,
very
so.
biased towards it, probably.
True.
If your movie has like neon and like blood in it, we're very
Oh, boy.
we're very biased towards that. But yeah, it's best coolness, best thing.
Movies that are cool, because we're cool guys.
That je ne sais quoi. So yeah, best style. We got Mandy, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse, Sorry to Bother You, Aquaman, American Animals, Assassination Nation. Man, that's Ocean's 8, Isle of Dogs, Thoroughbreds, Paddington 2, First Reformed, Madeline's Madeline. I think I pronounced that right. Madeline's Madeline. Yeah, that's what I thought. Night is Short, Walk On Girl, Upgrade, The Favorite, Cam, 50 Shades Freed, and POOKA.
We made this list a month ago.
Yeah, we made this a month ago, so this will be. I feel like we're not in the. Listener, like Ryan said, we made this list a month ago, and we're a few months into 2019. But hey, the Oscars haven't even started at this point, so
Exactly.
you know,
People are already pissed at those, so.
yeah. I missed what that whole bit was. What happened?
There's a constant new bit that
Okay,
go out with that,
well.
so don't worry about it.
So yeah.
So who has someone they want to start with?
Listen, I think 50 Shades Freed did a lot of exciting things. Obviously, the best Dakota Johnson performance of the year.
She had a few.
I don't know how to tell you about this, George.
But I understand that I'm perhaps alone in this train of thought.
So what about its style speaks to you besides the bit?
Well, Dakota Johnson's naked in it. That's pretty stylish.
That's pretty good,
Dang.
actually.
And we have a winner.
No, yeah, that's mostly a bit. It's got the second best soundtrack. But that's about it. There's a lot of. It looks like a fucking Calvin Klein ad. We can take it off. I'll do that for us here. So,
I think the front runners here. If I had to look at this list and think of two, I would say Mandy and Into the Spider.
yeah. See, I was gonna just pretend that we don't know the two people that are hard to walk away from.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd agree that those are two movies that are hard to walk away from.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not gonna separate them yet, but I think we can all agree. They're not locked.
Aquaman is going to win this category.
That is.
Let's talk about Aquaman real quick, though.
Can we please?
Because Aquaman has a very it has a style that's very hard to narrow
Ugly.
down because its style changes dramatically scene from
Someone
scene.
should have come to the set and be like, do you guys realize we're trying to sell a movie, right? What? That's the style. Someone
That's the style,
they just let someone go. Listen, we don't fucking know. Just do it. I don't know what to do anymore. Just do something. It looks like a movie.
Something. So you want an octopus to play the drums? We already got that in the movie.
There's an octopus that plays the drugs. I was gonna say the drums.
Let's not go our heads here.
It feels like a superhero movie before Spider-Man. It feels
it
like
does.
an early 90s superhero movie. We don't know what the tone... And it's honestly better for that a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just so out of the fucking... It goes from, hilarious to, are you in on the bit? Or, yeah.
Is this even a bit? Is this supposed to be serious?
But I think in this category, it's probably the least bit-like. Because I think it looks... I like how it looks. It's ridiculousness.
It is
that's
ridiculous.
just me. That octopus is good. Amber Heard's in it. She's pretty all right.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Momoa is
Very alright.
That when they finally put the official Aquaman costume, he sure looks.
The official.
He sure does look something.
So sparkly.
Very sparkly. The CG they did on William Dafoe to give him that like the fucking hairline.
Ooh boy. Ooh.
It was very stylish. But yeah,
the trench sequence, the trench monster sequence.
it was so stylish that they're gonna give it a spinoff.
Exactly, which is weird. Have you heard about that, Carrie? They're making an Aquaman spinoff with none of the characters about that trench, but the trench monsters.
What are the Oh, the
The
things that attack him on the boat?
Yeah.
Huh? What?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's a very James Wan move
Oh,
to have
yeah.
the one small thing in the movie get its own spin-off thing. So that's keeping in that tradition. It's keeping in that tradition. So yeah, please be excited for the spin-off about the octopus. But yeah, I don't think Aquaman's gonna hang here, so we're gonna.
I'm fine with cutting it.
Get it out of here.
It might make some more appearances on.
Who can say?
Who can say? Who can really say?
Ocean's 8 is a movie that's probably just style and the style of the women who lead that movie.
I have seen this movie now.
Oh, have you?
I have seen it.
What are your thoughts? I think it's fine.
It is very fine. My main issue with it is like the ending, probably.
It's
because it ends so
it's
clean
yeah.
in a way that like I don't get why we wasted our time with all that other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a little convoluted to get to the end. It's yeah.
It also kind of like defeats the whole like idea of like women doing all of this because they literally hire a man to do the most difficult part of their job.
Right. It's got James Corden. That's not very stylish.
No, that is. That's actually, let's just delete this. I will say though, when I watched it, I was happy that James Corden was not in the movie that much.
No, but he very much plays a James Corden fucking character.
Yes, but he is James Gordon.
Oh, how do you pronounce his name?
And
Corden.
so I'm just gonna delete it.
Yeah.
We can't have him on any movie.
Great Anne Hathaway vehicle.
I was telling Carrie when I watched it, I was like, it feels like you wrote this because every time anyone talks about Anne Hathaway's character, it's like, oh, she's so fucking hot, man. Jesus Christ.
I disappoint. Not a lot of Rihanna. Not a lot of. She doesn't get a lot of moments to shine in that movie. I feel. But anyways, it's gone.
Let me talk about. I know this isn't one that I feel super passionate about, and I know neither of you saw it, but I just thought it was really cool. It was this movie called American Animals. And it's about in the same vein as Ocean's 8, it's a heist type of movie, but it's these 3 college students who are endeavoring to steal this art book, this rare art book from their college library's art section, I guess, and they try and pull off this heist, and the way that it's delivered is really interesting, because it's based on a true story, and it has the actors portraying it, but then it'll also cut to the real life guys telling the story. And
it works?
It's cool. I thought it was really cool. Like I wasn't crazy about the movie overall, but I thought that aspect of it was really interesting. And then it sets up a lot of unreliable narrator type of stuff, because those guys' stories will conflict sometimes, and then they'll replay through parts depending on who's talking about it. And I thought they had really interesting energy, and the movie had some parts that hit harder than others, but overall,
it sounds like it hangs on that style.
Yeah,
the whole setup is on that style.
Yeah,
then.
But it was like I, Tonya, but if it were like the real people.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
I just thought that was an interesting thing. I don't think it hangs, but I just wanted to give that movie a shout
yeah, I've heard
out.
good things about that movie.
It was
but also,
fun.
I didn't hear like for that week it was out in limited release. I heard good things,
Right.
and then it kind of came and went.
Yeah, I caught it on Amazon Prime. I rented it, I believe. So.
I'd like to really quickly. I don't think it can last, but Madeline's Madeline. Madeline's Madeline. It has such a unique, like almost difficult style to like
It's so
talk
good.
about. It's very good.
It's
Very dreamlike.
It's very reminiscent to me of Synecdoche, New York. Because basically the setup is this. It's a kind of a coming of age story about this girl. I'd say she's like 15, and she's a little unstable, and it's this strained relationship with her mom, but Madeline joins this acting troupe, and she starts expressing herself in that way, and then the acting troupe kind of co-ops her struggles in her life and builds the production that they're making around Madeline and what she goes through and her headspace. And it's very, very cool, and it's very interesting. It's an extremely manic movie, and it's just hard to digest at some parts, like Ryan said, because there's just a lot happening, and it makes you feel uneasy, but it's so awesome.
It's incredible. Were
you about to cut it though?
I might cut it just because
I can see it hanging out.
You haven't seen it, and that's the
I've
reason.
seen bits and pieces of it.
Bits and pieces of it. It has, but there's other stuff on here that, like, I don't know. It's difficult. I like it a lot, but I don't think it could like.
I'm actually adding one that it's not on this list.
Oh, is it Power Rangers 2016?
Suspiria.
Oh yeah,
Suspiria is not on this list.
Well,
oopsie.
Yeah. So now this gets a lot harder.
I love Madeline's Madeline a lot, and I think it's like weird, like fever dream.
Oh yeah.
Aesthetic is very like pleasing in a very like stressful way, but with some other stuff on this list, I don't think it can make top 3, and that's why I'm feeling cutting it right now. I love it a lot. I'd highly recommend it. Amazon Prime. If you love to be stressed out, it's like us,
very good.
Very good.
I think I'm
with her performance.
I like to keep it here.
Will be talked about later.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't want to get into that, but Madeline's performance is incredible, and that is why I think the top part of this, and the style is second. But they definitely
that's an interesting argument.
They definitely coexist and work off each other in an interesting
From what I hear, like it does sound like that performance kind of like
that is the
insane.
big part of the movie.
Okay.
Yes.
And also it's like debut from what I saw from the trailer.
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about Madeline, I think we should probably talk about some of the other lower ones here. Like, Upgrade seems cool.
Upgrade is cool.
But I don't
did
know.
either of you guys see it?
I was meaning to. I never got around to.
Yeah, I saw the trailer right before we came
I have
here.
it. You can borrow it if you want to. But it's a very fun movie. It's more of a B sci-fi movie, and I just really like a lot of the camera work that it does, because basically it's this guy who gets in this accident and and he gets this AI put in him basically that makes him able to walk again, and it starts communicating with him, and it can operate. It makes him be able to operate his limbs and everything, but there's an option for him to give it permission to like take control of his body. And during those scenes when it happens, it's just like I don't have the technical vernacular to describe it, but it's like a solid point that it's fixated on, like his head, and then everything like shifts around it, but there's a point in the middle of the frame that stays solid. So it's like when you're in the robot mode, it's like and it's like it's very cool visually.
Okay.
And there's just a lot of cool shots with the
I've seen a few of those in trailers, and it looks very interesting, which is for me what I think is the main drive to what makes me want to see it.
It's more so fun. It's a fun movie, and it's goofy. And the main guy is the guy from Invitation.
Oh right,
the
you
bearded
mentioned
man.
that. Yeah, you mentioned that.
And he does great. And it's just, it doesn't. I don't think it hangs here, but it is a fun movie that I wanted to give a shout out to because we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the show.
You want to take that one off? I like POOKA. POOKA's very good, and it's certainly stylish and surreal and like colorful at moments and just nightmarish. But also I don't. If you don't know, this is we talked about it on the podcast, but POOKA is one of those. It was one of the Hulu Into the Dark short series. This is directed by the director of Colossal. It starts a guy who signs up to be like
a mascot.
A mascot.
It's like a Furby, basically.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare Furby.
But he's like the dancing Pikachu costume kind of person for this.
Right, but
that's what that reminds me.
But then it appears that maybe the suit has a mind of its own, but maybe it does. Maybe something else is happening. And it certainly is shot and paced that way. It feels it's very surreal. It's very.
This is like a Charles Dickens Mulholland Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a big bear.
Huh. Yeah,
it's great.
Yes. I don't have the same passion behind it as you do, Carrie, but I do agree with that.
I think I was like shocked, like, man, this is like kind of too good for like just to be on this. Yeah. But I don't see it hanging.
No, probably not.
So I'm deleting that.
I am cultivating a relationship with whoever runs the official POOKA Twitter. We've interacted several times. I think we're gonna be best friends. Like, I made them a Valentine that said, "Will you be my Booka?"
That was very good.
they retweeted it and said, "This is the best thing on the internet," and I was like, "Yes, yes,
validation."
Finally.
Okay. So the list so far, listeners, like we said, we were gonna check in. We have Mandy, Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse, Sorry to Bother You, Assassination Nation, Isle of Dogs, Thoroughbreds, Paddington 2, First Reformed, Madeline's Madeline. Goddamn, I'm gonna get that wrong all the time. Night is Short, Walk On Girl, Suspiria, The Favorite, and Cam. And we're getting into some. I think all of these movies here are great movies, and now it's just which style.
Brian would love
all right. One of them, maybe not, and maybe that's the one we should talk about next. Maybe that's the one we should talk about.
I want to cut Assassination Nation because I fucking hate everything about this movie. Like, you guys like it, right?
I haven't seen it.
You still haven't seen it.
I think it's okay. Like,
okay.
I don't hate it as much as you do, but I wouldn't say that I love it or.
It sounds like a 6 out of 10 from what I heard.
Yeah.
I just hate because it's not even the style.
Mine's a 3 out of 10.
No, I think I gave it like half a star.
Oh,
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
But that was mostly out of like I was so annoyed. Like it realistically doesn't like deserve that because it does have shots in it that are very like interesting style wise.
Yeah.
Like the house sequence.
Yeah, I think
that's
if it has anything, it has style.
It does have style, but it also comments on how stylized it is, and that's fucking annoying. It's so obnoxious.
And she was very self-aware.
Could you imagine?
It believes its own hype.
Could you imagine if Spider-Man was like, "This movie looks fucking awesome, bro"? Like, come on, like, have some self-control. It's he has this fucking white dude who made this movie about like female power, has the biggest fucking ego. He's thinking he's gonna be swimming in the poon because he made this fucking bad movie. God, I hate it. I fucking hate this movie.
I just want to keep it on just to make Ryan angry.
I'm going to remove it right now.
All right, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's an aggressive movie, and it's got cool music choices and music cues that are incorporated interestingly, and it's got great that sequence that he mentioned, the house invasion sequence. It's got some ideas, but it delivers them in a way that isn't
it has good intentions. It's not coming through the correct mouthpiece.
Yeah,
I would say.
Sure.
Because if you're going to make a movie like this, I think you need more people behind the scenes who understand the situations behind this. It just feels whitewashed, even though it's trying not to be, if that makes sense.
Right.
And it's very frustrating. And also, it's disqualified because it commented on how awesome its style was in the movie.
That's honestly, that's fair. That's fair. That is very fair. That's very not stylish, actually.
Very arrogant, very stupid. Okay, let's go on.
So man, this one hurts me to cut, but I just don't see a way that can make it anywhere near the list, maybe even top 5. Mm-hmm. Night is Short, Walk On Girl is just an incredible animated movie. I think
some would say its style is its biggest.
It really is. It really is. Like, not the story isn't it? I think I said I walked out saying like, man, people can make some incredible fucking things.
Yeah.
It just looks so colorful. This is an animated movie. We talked about it on the podcast. about a girl who likes to drink, and there's this fucking creepy ass guy loser who decides that he's gonna.
The movie does not paint it like that.
They probably should have. It would have been better if it did. Who decides to in order to get this girl's attention, he's just gonna stalk her.
He like inserts himself into her
everything
life.
in her life. Yeah, it's the worst.
To be fair, Carrie's are the same thing with the official POOKA.
Whoa! Hey! POOKA, don't listen.
Please.
But it really just.
Oh my God, Carrie! What if you're running the POOKA account the whole time?
This is also animated by the folks who did Devilman Crybaby. Mm-hmm. I think it has a bit of that in terms of like the way it feels. So I don't know. It's probably
fluidity.
It feels that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's probably not the best way to describe it, but that's the best way.
It is. That is, I don't know. The motion feels very organic in a way that a lot of animated stuff has difficulty doing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like modern animation has gotten very good with that. You watch like an old Disney thing.
It's very static.
It's like
few frames.
Yeah. Right. But like that looks. It almost looks like weird.
It does.
Like, organic everything.
But at the same time, it also feels like it's flexing on you. Mm-hmm. And like there's just because again, like it just feels like the movie is set up to make these giant set pieces, like where the artists can really go wild. But at the same time, what they produce is fucking wild and beautiful. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're cutting it. Yeah, it's gone.
Get out of here.
It's great. It's gone.
Fuck you.
I am not a fan of claymation, and Isle of Dogs is on here. Yeah, I know, right?
You're not a fan of claymation? What the fuck is wrong with
I
you?
know. I don't
hate Christmas?
I don't know why. I think it was because my grandma made me watch Chicken Run a lot.
I did see Chicken Run a lot as a kid.
And I fucking hated that movie. And I think I just
listen.
I
like Isle of Dogs a lot.
I like it a lot.
I want to hear some arguments for it. That's all. Because I'm not a fan of its style.
It's tough also because it's been so long since I've seen it. But
it's not.
It was
one
like
that
February
I'm
last year, right?
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
It's like that's like a whole year now since that came out.
Listen, it's just Wes Anderson, all right?
All right, here we go. Well, we're cutting it now, I guess.
That's actually pretty fair. Wes Anderson, cut.
This is the Wes Anderson movie where it's just weird dogs doing weird things, and it only works because it looks really cool.
Right. It commits to the bit of like being in like taking place in Japan and having like all the characters speaking in Japanese. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
The dogs look really cool.
I have no idea.
I like the colors. Like it's really muted colors at like some parts where the dogs are hanging out, but when you go to Japan, it's really bright. It's a very Wes Anderson movie. Listen, if you made me like to make a list of the top 10, I'd probably put it in the top 5. But right now, I just don't have the passion for it.
Neither, honestly.
It sucks. Like it's one of the best movies.
It's really good.
It's one of the best movies of 2018. Top 25, maybe. Who can say about 10? Not me, not yet. But
so I will delete it then.
Yeah, I just don't have the passion for it right now.
All right,
I do. For a movie I haven't seen, I definitely have the passion to delete it.
I'll talk about First Reformed because I know I'm the only person on this couch who is a fan
It's
of this.
certainly stylish.
I like
it's
it.
Stylish.
Oh, I didn't even know you liked it. I thought you didn't like it.
No, I liked it. That's as far as I'll go.
I don't
Joe.
get it. But it's stylish.
George, let me give you 2 words. Amanda Seyfried.
No, that's.
Let me give you 2 more words. Ethan Hawke.
I totally forgot Amanda Seyfried.
Curry, let me give you 3 words. Ethan fucking Hawke.
Let me drop this on you. Cedric the Entertainer's in this, but he's not Cedric the Entertainer. He's Cedric whatever his real name is, because he's being serious.
Oh, okay. There's something entertaining about his performance in this movie. It's
Cedric the normal guy.
I just like this movie for its starkness, and it's
that I would agree.
It's just, I don't know. A lot of I remember watching it and just immediately regretting not having seen it in the theater.
I would agree with that 500%. Yes,
it's like
totally.
The shots are beautiful.
It's
like
very
just the intro of it zooming in on the church.
The intro specifically was
holy
like
shit. The one where obviously the one that you see on One Perfect Shot Twitter every other day, where it's Ethan Hawke standing in front of the lilac sky. That's very pretty.
It's very good. Yeah, that was probably that right from the get-go. I was like, oh fuck, I should have saw this in the theater, huh? From the start, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
well.
it's a movie with a very tasteful and restrained style. Like, just all the details, nothing garish or out of place about it, and it's very tight, and I really appreciate the taste level of this movie.
And it's 4x3.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. Even that one sequence, you know the one, the planking sequence. It's very jarring.
That was the moment where I was like, oh, we gotta go.
So I think that sequence might be enough. I like the idea behind that sequence, and I like the emotion, but the execution.
I don't remember what scene you're talking about.
Where Amanda Seyfried and him are doing that energy connection thing where it's like, I have to touch every part of you, and then it cuts to them like green screened in front of all the bullshit.
That Kanye West music video.
That scene was odd. But I don't know. This movie just really
it
vibes
wasn't
with me.
Odd enough, though. I would say.
I think if we saw it, if I saw it in a movie theater, I'd like it a lot more.
Definitely, yeah. But it vibes with me, and I don't know why. I can't explain it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've seen everyone else rave about it, so I'm just like, I'm supposed to like this.
I really liked it. The one perfect shot Twitter account was really getting to you.
Dang.
But that's also like one of like 5 shots for me that like I really like.
That's true. Yeah.
But also like when that shot happened, like my attention was at a very low, and like okay, I can make it through the rest of this film. So yeah, but it sounds like it's gone.
Yeah, we can get rid of it, but it's just a cool movie, and it just ramps up, and it had me invested, even though it shouldn't, because on paper it's just a fucking boring movie.
I don't know if this is gonna stay on there, but it's a movie that it's not one of my favorite movies of the year, but it's one I feel very passionate about. Cam on Netflix.
This isn't one of your favorite movies of the year?
It's not what I would say like one of the best movies of the year, but like personally one of my favorites.
Personally, I know you like it a lot.
Because
it does a lot of cool things.
It does a lot of cool things.
It fills the check mark of neon and blood.
It fills those check marks so well.
I think
her main room is just different shades of pink.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
This and Mandy are our main neon blood contenders.
Yeah.
And I just
I
love that movie. I love that movie a lot, but Mandy does have more neon and arguably more blood.
Arguably?
It has a lot more. It has a lot more blood.
Excuse me?
It's just like something about when I see like so many different like various shades of pink in a room that are all like not contrasting together correctly, but somehow correctly. It's like, I love this so much.
Ryan's experiencing color palettes for the first time.
Exactly. It's so dope. But it probably shouldn't.
So this, do you feel good with us deleting it?
You can delete it. Yes, that's what I was getting at. I just want to give my take on its neon aesthetic, especially in the scene that comes to my mind a lot when I think of this movie in terms of style is when she's sitting in front of her computer screen watching the clone in quotes of herself, like. That's a great shot. The colors around it, just all her like.
She has a busted nose. It's really good.
She has a very busted.
So
nose.
This next movie I'm going to talk about.
Let me real quick. I want to talk another movie that's very pink.
Okay.
Paddington 2 is so fucking gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. George, when he believes his fucking rent thing into the prison laundry,
I hated
and
that,
everyone's dressed in pink.
It was very Wes Anderson. It was very whimsical.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
What about all this?
When he fixes up the prison and it's so beautiful.
He turns the prison into a nice cafe.
Who else could do that but a bear?
What I like about the style of Paddington is that it doesn't just stay in one lane of CGI animal that talks. It has the pencil sketch sequences with Sally Hawkins' character, who's an illustrator.
Yeah.
And it brings in that aspect, and it's got the paper world of the pop-up books. So there's a lot of different elements that come together. So it's not just stagnant. It has, and like, it's a very good movie. I love it, but it's doing a lot of stuff. Like, it's not resting on its laurels of being a charming bear movie.
It does it all well too, and it all feels like natural there's a lot of times when I'm watching like a real like static film, and then it does like a stylized thing, and it's like, okay, that looked cool, but I don't get why it was there. It doesn't fit with the tone of what's going on. But this one, it feels so like organic to what's going on, and it feels like I feel like a child again.
Yeah.
And Paddington is such a good bear.
But do you all even think it hangs in this style?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Then I'll
For now, at
okay.
least.
I will fight to the end of the earth.
Okay, so this next
It's
movie.
the objectively greatest film ever made.
Gosh.
Definitely.
So this next movie. So I like to think when I hear folks talking about like video game soundtracks, a soundtrack that always gets a short
I have
shrift.
no movie what you're about to talk about.
Okay, a soundtrack that always gets the shrift is the composed soundtrack. Something like a Journey or In the Blind Forest.
Yes.
It always like the techno or the sort of like more retro throwback or stuff that gets more like Hotline Miami, something that like pulses and goes like Tetris Effect. Those sorts of soundtracks always get. They never get their time because it just feels like so like a given. It's just like it's done well. It's done very well. They did a specific thing, and it is done in a classical style. And I think the favorite is that sort of thing. I think the costumes are fantastic. I think the camera work is great. But man, I don't know. I don't know if it's top 3. Carrie, obviously you feel strongly about this movie.
Yeah, I really like this movie. It's as far as other Yorgos films, it's not one of my top ones, but I really enjoyed it. And like you said, all of the pieces are just wonderful. It's such a grand movie, and it feels like a modern day Barry Lyndon, and it's not really, but like a new Barry Lyndon, I guess, but.
Modern in terms of like
the equipment that
they had when they made it.
Yeah.
And especially like what I meant by that as well, but I'm saying like it's not a loud movie. It's not gonna like it's not like blasting you with bass or anything. It's
the style is more like
well.
you leave theater like that was really
you guys
pretty.
did good work. It's
It's
great.
not. It's
Good
not.
job.
It's not like some other. It's not like Paddington 2 where like you're seeing the
It's
beautiful
not the
style,
best movie of all time.
and you're like, whoa, this is beautiful. Whoa, oh my god.
But yeah, it's.
I would agree that I don't know how hard it hangs on this list as far as what we're trying to achieve with this category, but it's so very good.
Okay, so I'm about to maybe put a take out there.
Uh-oh.
Is Mandy a lock? Is it actually a lock?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it's just because I don't like that movie as a whole. That's why.
You don't like Paddington. You don't like Cheddar Goblin. What the
I
fuck?
don't like
What
Cheddar
do you?
Goblin.
What do you like, George? Besides being a bad friend.
I like Thoroughbreds. Let's talk about that movie.
Let us talk about Thoroughbreds.
Fantastic soundtrack, just like so different, and it's so sharp, and it fits with the rhythm of the movie, the editing of the movie, and the way it's shot. Like I saw a trailer because I want to sit down and watch it again because Carrie gave it to me the Blu-ray, and I'm extremely grateful for that because I really like this movie a lot. For me, I don't think it hangs, but for me, it's the soundtrack. Obviously, the performances like fucking stellar, but it's the long, awkward shots of conversation between a character who just can't read emotion or is very good at manipulating people and understanding it, and it's just like the most like tense shit in the soundtrack, and I think it's so good at creating a tension and a rhythm and just standing out, and I love its soundtrack. I think I'd like it to hang, but in reality, well, the thing is, I don't know what our third is actually. Now looking at this list, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I will say,
As a gag, I can tell you what it is.
no, okay, well then that tells me that you're not serious about it, maybe.
Well, that's true.
Ryan, please.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay.
So I saw Suspiria recently.
Oh yeah.
It is fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
But also, like, I don't know. I'd be okay maybe giving it an L now, knowing that it's going to get
It's
a
gonna
lot
sweep later.
Yeah. Listen.
We can
You see,
touch
the thing
on
is-
it.
The thing is, I need to watch this again so badly.
Me too. I saw it on DVD.
You guys are babies.
Carrie, your eyes have not truly adjusted to the beauty that is
2008 technology.
I have motion blur in my eyes.
Exactly.
Suspiria is absolutely fucking gorgeous in every way.
Yeah, we haven't been able to gush about it because of me on the podcast.
The last act is
oh my god,
Mandy levels.
That's true.
I think it's more. I think it's what I wanted.
Mandy has it for longer, but Suspiria has it for a shorter distance, but I think goes crazier in terms of style, at least.
And Suspiria isn't like trying to be campy about it.
Yes.
No, it is.
It's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Also, yes,
this
is
is
straight
insane.
face, straight face, and the dancing is so
Yes.
goddamn good. Fuck, man.
Shit, guys. I think
The
I don't think we can
costumes.
cut Suspiria.
It's weird because again, we haven't been able to gush on it because I didn't want to get spoiled, but like. We all had the movie that Suspiria in my mind was wild and crazy and like it exceeded those expectations. Like it just delivers on what I as a trash person would like is like Dakota Johnson's titties naked, her like crazy dancing, like the blood and like just gore, and it just over delivers. It just and it's also like a fantastic.
I think you're having a personal shopper moment that I had
Oh,
last year.
it's so good. It is fucking. It really just feels like smut to me. For me, my personal shit that I want out of this movie, like this is just
Dakota
like
Johnson,
great.
titties, blood.
This is great.
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton. I don't know how you didn't know that was Tilda Swinton as the old guy.
You did.
I thought you
Yeah, I
mentioned
did.
that you didn't notice. At first.
I told it.
I didn't notice that first, and I was like, wait a minute.
I told Greg, and he didn't believe me.
That's clearly Tilda Swinton, but she's great. I don't know what other roles. Was there more than two?
Yeah,
she had
okay,
three.
the old man,
the
the
goopy
dance
lady.
instructor, and the goopy lady with the baby arm on her shoulder.
All right. Well, now that we said it, now that we had that sort of gush of Suspiria, I can maybe see it as a 3. But y'all, sorry to bother you. It's got some fucking style.
It
Holy
does.
shit! Just it is obvious. It is beyond surreal. It changes tone so different. Like that movie is like separated into like. The tone is completely different from where it was like 40 minutes ago, and like the objectives and like where we're going is just so different. And obviously the performances are great,
And it handles all that very well.
Yes,
Yeah.
it can feel like a mess, and
It doesn't. It doesn't feel like a lot of movies that like have that kind of a similar pace. Really like exhaust you after all. This is Sorry to Bother You is very like.
It could be very.
I am so like strapped in for what is coming up next.
It could have very well been like, you got a lot of ambition here.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have like taken a step back. And
It's like ambition over like ability to actually deliver on
yes,
that. And this is like the perfect like mix.
yes, everything
between
works
those
well,
two.
and it's just very poignant and hits hard. It's very well done. And I don't know what else to say.
And we're cutting it.
Are
we?
No, I
Not
don't.
yet.
No.
Well, we had to cut something.
I
I think we've talked.
as
we
much
have-
as I love.
We have Mandy, Spiderverse,
Right,
Sorry
thank
to
you,
Bother You, Thoroughbreds, Paddington 2, Madeline's Madeline, Suspiria, and The Favorite. We have to cut something, guys.
out of these.
I'm willing to cut Madeline's Madeline now. I love it a lot. I feel like it
I'm
is.
not, I think I could see it.
I love it a lot. I feel like
I could see it. Staying.
you could see it staying.
I could see it staying.
Oh wow.
That's what I said.
Okay.
No.
Okay, The Favorite. We had a conversation that it's that type of movie, and unfortunately,
Carrie, you think Yorgos Lanthimos has done better in terms of style?
As far as what I enjoy about his movies, yes. But I think this movie has a lot of style, but on this list, and I think what we as a group, the collective, are looking for from this category.
In objective facts?
I don't think that The Favorite would hang
All
here.
right.
It's got a style, it's got a panache and a swagger, but I don't know.
George, for you, my dear friend of
50 years.
50, how long have I known you?
2010 or 11.
So, like,
About 10 years.
50
years.
50 years.
Yeah.
9-10 years, I'd say. Given all we've been through, I am willing to cut Paddington too.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Ryan. That means a lot.
I was gonna say
no more favors after this, though.
say that too. I think we said our pieces on Paddington.
Yes.
And it's clear that we love it, but
It's clear that me and Carrie have opened up our third eyes, and George is living in the caveman times of like, oh, shiny blood, boobies, and Paddington 2 sucks. Fucking caveman brain over here.
My favorite thing about Paddington 2 was what's his name? It's not Ian McGregor. Was it Ian McGregor? That's not him.
God, if Ian McGregor was in Paddington 3...
if Ewan McGregor was in there, it would have been swept every
It would have swept every category.
Hugh Grant.
Best horror.
Best horror movie.
All right. So we're now down. Should we have a Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse conversation?
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it.
It has the best animation style of all time.
It is fucking incredible.
very good.
It is.
It's very good.
Like we talked about, like 90 Short Walk On Girl, and this is even more than that. It's just like I don't understand.
The only thing I could possibly imagine having a better style than Into the Spider-Verse is its inevitable sequels and spin-offs where they go even more
harder.
Right.
more buck wild with like integrating like new styles. Like
Very cool.
one of my favorite styles was
Very cool.
glimpses into the Spider-Gwen universe.
Yeah.
Because the Spider-Gwen comic is amazing. It's so good, and it really delivers on what it like. Gwen Stacy as a character really was nothing before that fucking comic like took her and did something interesting with her, and it does so much that I like in fucking in female characters especially. It has a very like Gone Home kind of, her character has a very Gone Home kind of vibe in terms of like Riot Girl kind of music.
Sure,
you know what I mean, George?
Sure.
And I love that a lot, and her world kind of shows that, her dimension, and I want to see more of that, and that's what I want to see more in future of these movies.
For me, of Into the Spider-Verse, and it does look stunning, and it's again, it maybe speaks to like how like we kicked something like The Favorite, like it is the composed soundtrack, like it's very well done, but this thing is the flashy fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's like a spectacle. But for me, the thing that I think it looks incredible, but also for me, and I've mentioned again, is the scene in that movie. It's my favorite scene is when we're introduced to Miles, and he's in there singing to that Sunflower song, and we see his room, we see the Chance the Rapper posters, and you see this just young black kid from the Bronx, and he's just so goddamn happy, and he has his uncle, who one's a cop, but one also is a graffiti artist, and maybe does some shady shit, and they don't treat it as a bad thing. Like his dad doesn't like him, but he's not painted as a bad villain. Like that feeling of being a minority and being happy, like there's just a positive attitude when he's walking down the street and he's saying hi to all his friends. I don't know, like that feeling.
That stuff is what made his comic feel so good, and I was so surprised that they were able to like perfectly put that into film.
Sure. And to my point, I think for me that feeling on top of the incredible style just made the whole thing just so fucking emotional for me. And I'm just swept up in this fucking thing. Like it feels like a thing that's too good to exist in this world. Like how the fuck did from point A like to point
Hotel
Z,
Transylvania to Emoji Movie.
Surfs Up to WrestleMania, fucking whatever the hell.
That was their previous high point, if you could believe it.
That's true.
Yikes.
Big yikes.
That one Penguin's getting a movie later this month. The Page was in that movie as Penguin, fighting with the family in theaters this February. But yeah,
Spiderverse comes on Blu-ray at the end of March.
Yay.
I'm pre-ordering that shit.
But yeah, like I said, I think it's really hard to.
It's really hard to cut it from this.
I think that's this year's Blade Runner 2049.
Exactly. It'd be a disservice to not do it.
So even though like Mandy didn't work for me, I think even when I think of style, like no, it should be here. Like that's the thing I liked about it.
Because it has two kind of styles, I would say.
It switches, yeah.
It has its
It's like
Trippy-
trippy cult.
Yeah.
And
Holy balls.
And inside
Grindhouse
Nicolas
movie.
Cage's
yeah,
heart.
Yeah.
And the transition between those two is jarring, but it's jarring to a very important point into like the breaking of this man's mind.
Yes.
Which like makes that complete total shift even greater.
Yeah.
To me personally. Oh man. This is a difficult year for this. I feel like it wasn't
that's
that
true.
hard in terms of style last year. Maybe I'm just an asshole. I don't know.
Maybe. Come on now, Ryan.
Come on.
It's especially
guys.
hard because we have like 2 movies that I think they're tough to like.
Guys,
I mean, I feel more strong
bring
about
back-
Suspiria than
let's
Mandy.
bring back Power Rangers 2016.
17.
17. Who
I
cares?
don't feel more strongly about Suspiria than Mandy, but I do feel more strongly about Suspiria in terms of style than, like, probably either Madeline's Madeline or Sorry to Bother You or Thoroughbreds. All 3 of those.
Again, George, I'm willing, for the argument, I'm willing to remove Madeline's Madeline.
Okay, if you want to be the guy.
I will be
Go
the
ahead,
guy.
You want to be the bad guy.
I'll be the
It's-
guy. I love this movie.
It's so good.
I tried watching it and I just fell asleep. That's because I was tired,
find
not
it
because I was bored.
relatable in like very uncomfortable ways.
Yeah.
But
It
that
looks
style, fuck that, am I right?
It looks intense.
It is very
It's
intense.
so good, though. It's
a very.
I don't know. It feels monumental when you're watching it.
It does.
Okay.
Even though no one cares about this movie.
It's so good, though.
It is so good.
Well, I think reality.
Mandy,
I'm willing to.
Spiderverse.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
Thoroughbreds,
really.
Suspiria.
I think it's Suspiria, Mandy, and Spider-Man.
You think
That's what I'm
so?
thinking,
Yeah, I
too.
think so.
That's-
Like,
that's also what
those 2
I'm
movies.
glad we put Suspiria on the list.
Oh yeah, I can't believe you forgot. Yeah.
All right, so Mandy, Spider-Verse.
Oh wait, somebody has to
Suspiria.
win this. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Who
What if we just
wins?
all?
I think we agreed
This
that
is
it's
like
Spider-Verse,
this
right?
is like the 3
Did
of
we?
us.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you're all about Nick Cage. Going
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
You're all-
Mandy was my smut of the year.
That is very true.
Spider-Verse, I love a lot, and you saw Dakota Johnson's boobs this year.
Yeah.
So like, that's all you. Lucky you, man.
Well, it was like, I've seen her boobs before, and I've seen her naked. Now I sound like an asshole. Like I sound like a, but
not so.
Now it felt like it meant
but it was a
something.
very basic fucking yo, you want to see a fucking horny sex movie? Like here's my fucking horny sex movie with the fucking Suspiria.
But this is my horny sex movie, Suspiria 2018.
So yeah. Okay, Ryan, what's your number 1?
Spider-Verse.
Carrie, what's your number 1?
It's Mandy.
Oh.
But I would not be upset if we gave it to.
All right.
the other 2.
Let's rank them.
No, we can't do that. We can't do this.
If we can't, if we're gonna be that like, oh man. All right,
Let's get a whiteboard.
how I would rate this for me is I would do Spider-Man first. Then I think then Suspiria, then Mandy.
I think that Spider-Man has a very unique style, and I think that's its strong suit because it felt like something I've never seen before
That's
while I
very
was
true.
watching it.
That's very
and
true.
and I'm watching Mandy and Suspiria, and they're both excellent, but I've seen stuff of that vein before. But Spider-Man feels like something new,
That's a very
and
good
I
point.
think that that's a reason that it could be a winner
That's a great argument, and I think I'm bought by that argument, honestly. But
for style.
for
For
style.
style.
Yeah,
So are we agreeing the winner is Spider-Verse?
yeah
I think
it
that's
feels
happening.
wrong, but I think it makes sense.
It feels basic, but it's true.
It very much is basic.
To be fair, the other ones were Mandy and Suspiria.
That is very true. Those are very us.
And I feel like any other person would be like, the favorite.
The favorite.
The favorite. Fucking Infinity War, Black Panther. What were the other Oscar movies? Okay.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh, we didn't talk about. Okay, let me add Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, okay, we've already Spider-Verse.
I don't understand how that movie. I don't get it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I don't know what you're doing. Matt Spider.
Winner, Spider-Man.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Oh, no. The Google Docs is looking weird.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Okay, I'm backing out. Someone fix that. All right.
I fixed it.
Okay.
My Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. All right. Topic 2, best horror movie.
Yeah, so I feel like we're very biased towards horror, and I feel like this year is not as hot as many years.
Nope.
Which is a bummer, but they're still...
It had very high highs.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But also
wasn't
some
as spread out
very
as...
mediocre lows.
A lot of middling, a lot of mid-carders
So,
here.
the nominations for best horror are Hereditary, Suspiria, Cam, PyeWatket, POOKA, Blumhouse's Truth or Dare, baby, Slenderman, Mandy, Hellfest, The Ritual, Midnight Man,
Hell yeah!
A Quiet Place, Revenge, New Year, New You, 8th Grade, Aquaman 2018, and The Strangers, Pray at Night.
Should Velvet Buzzsaw be on here, Ryan?
That's
No, that was
this year.
2019.
Oh, you're right, sorry. I thought
Also,
No.
all right, so...
real quick, I want to talk about PyeWatket.
Yes.
Real quick.
I'm gonna look it up while you're doing that. 'cause I have no
I've
idea.
seen the poster. I'm
The
picturing the poster perfectly in my
So
mind
this
right now.
was a very indie thing. The premise is this young girl. This young high school girl. She's very into witchcraft and the occult.
All right.
And the central premise is her father passed away about a year ago, and her mother is grieving. Is very much still in the process of grieving, and it ends up with being. She decides to move them out to like the countryside. Because the house, like, she just can't be in the house anymore, which is very understandable and very upsetting.
That's cool.
And then it deals with the conflict between those two because they've definitely grown different between that. The daughter has grown interested in the whole witchcraft and the occult things, which the mother doesn't understand, like, the appeal of. There's a very excellent scene where she throws out one of her kind of like occulty kind of rings. And like the mom is very frustrated, like, I don't get why I like this occult garbage. And the daughter is very passionate. Is like, it makes me feel better ever since Dad died, which is very like charming and heartbreaking. But its biggest issue, I feel, is the central premise, which is basically when they move out, the daughter's very frustrated. So she does a ritual to summon a demon named PyeWatket to kill her mom. And she immediately regrets it.
What?
Because of course she would. And then it's all about her.
Wait.
Yes.
I'm really sad that my dad is dead. How do I cope with this? I kill my other parent.
No, it's more like an interesting, and then her mom basically like wants to have her like quit going to that school with her friends.
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. No, just like she has like a group of a few friends at her normal, not scary school.
I see.
And she wants her daughter to basically like throw everything away so she can help her, cope with everything in this new home, in this new city. And that's very frustrating to her. They're arguing a lot. And it's done from a place of like anger, and I think the idea is she doesn't really know what she's doing. It's more of like, I'm doing this out of like anger, if anything. Although like the whole like way she does the ritual is very like she does a lot of work.
The description for that movie seems weird. It's like an angst-ridden teen summons a fucking demon.
But the reason why it's best horror, not only with a few like genuine moments of like understanding, is the way it deals with like shadows and like darkness is really fucking cool. Like, there's a scene in particular where, like, she's in bed, sleeping, and the PyeWatket spirit, which is, like, haunting their house, is, like, approaching in terms of, like, shadows moving above her bed. And it's so quiet and tense and scary and cool. And genuinely scary. And then the movie does more stupid shit. Like, the ending especially is really dumb. It has a few high highs, but the central premise is really dumb. But it's really cool and interesting. And if you're bored and want to watch a dumb horror movie, I'd highly recommend it.
Okay.
Not best horror movie though.
There's some stuff here that I probably should go before it.
I'm just gonna take it out now.
Okay, it sounded interesting.
It is what it does. Cool. It has a very good middle act, I would say, and parts of the finale are very good, but the very ending stinger is really bad.
Because I feel like I was just trying to fill the list with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of it's just like New Year. I think I talked about it on a podcast close to the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's another Into the Dark Hulu special. I don't even really want to talk about it that much, but it's not. Yeah,
It's all right.
I'm not. It's just take it out. It's gone. Let's see. Strangers Pray at Night. It's got one good scene. It's a scene where they're at a motel pool. It's once again neon, and there's killing and blood in it. And they're playing.
Are we psychopaths?
Tiffany's. I think we're alone now. It's really good. But it's gone.
It's gone. So we added A Quiet Place.
I was gonna say, I
fucking
don't give
shit.
2 shits
No, we
about
can.
A Quiet
all the
That's why I
movies.
was like, you
That
took up
movie.
PyeWatket, like.
To be fair, A Quiet Place should have probably left first.
It's not terrible.
No, it's just
It's not great.
It's the most like it's the most like fucking regular ass cheese pizza thing. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just like what's a thing that is very
feels-
okay, but everyone's like, holy
It
shit.
feels like a family horror movie produced by Michael Bay. Because guess what?
It's
It
produced
is.
by Michael Bay. Yes, it is.
A Quiet Place is fine, but I not to sound like some sort of curmudgeon grump asshole, but I do not understand all the people who are raving about A Quiet Place like it's some sort of new, amazing,
at the end of
thing.
December when I was reading like best horror films of 2018.
Yikes.
The top 2 were always A Quiet Place or Hereditary. And
Yikes.
there was a lot of times where A Quiet Place was number 1 and Hereditary was number 2.
Yikes.
Big yikes.
It seems very much like a. Like, listen.
It reminds me of. It had the same craze as Bird Box has. And Bird Box.
I wouldn't go that far to listen. Quiet Place is all right, but I wouldn't put that evil on it.
No, because it came out.
It felt like a phenomenon.
It felt like a phenomenon, yes, because it came out and everyone was on board with it because it's a concept horror movie. And normally, I really
those
like
market very well. To
They market well, and depending on the concept, they work very well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another example, but I can't. The Rain. You watch the videotape, it kills you. It's a simple concept everyone can get behind, but the way the movie deals with that
follows.
It's a fun
it follows too.
Sure.
Simple concept. You fuck, you're dead. But the way it deals with it is amazing, and it's also one of the objectively greatest movies ever
made. And also
made.
for A Quiet Place, it's like a fun theater experience.
Yeah.
Well, fun for like most people would be like, oh fucking shit.
Oh, it's so quiet. I've experienced quiet before.
I've never experienced a movie theater where no one's talking.
Yeah, it's so quiet, but then as soon as you're supposed to feel emotional, the music revs up again, and it's like, all right,
yeah,
whatever.
What?
Shut up!
All right.
Achoo! Wait, I gotta adjust my seat.
Oh my god, there were so many times we were watching that. And the movie, and fucking John Krasinski was like,
Eighth grade might have one of the most horrifying moments of the year.
yeah, it takes place during the 8th grade. That's horrifying if I ever experienced horror.
But I don't know if it should be here. It's gone.
No.
Aquaman. It's horrifying how good of a movie it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It has to be in every category.
Carrie, don't
fucking
spoil the joke already. We're literally at 1-2.
The trench had me like.
The trench had to be at.
Aquaman.
Aquaman's fucking great, man. I don't know.
Aquamana. I got it.
I don't know if it's beside the podcast, but for Christmas, Carrie got me and Carrie fucking Ocean Master action
You and
figures.
George.
Me and me, yeah.
Not me and Greg. Me and George.
You said me and Carrie.
Oh, really? I don't know what I said. I saw our friend Greg also today, and I think for one second we talked about Aquaman.
Nice.
As we do.
Yeah,
with
I
my
have your
friend group.
trident, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need it.
Okay, well, we'll take care of that.
Get that back.
What the heck is Revenge?
That is the. Not Kate.
What?
I was going to say Kate Blanchett, but I was thinking of the Billy Eichner meme. It's Kate Blanchett good or is she just tall?
Both. No, it's the French film.
Jodie Foster?
No.
Alright.
What world are you living in?
I don't know what I'm thinking at this point.
Has Jodie Foster been in a movie recently?
I stared at a box copy of Flight Plan today with Jodie Foster. I was like, man, it's been a minute since I've seen Jodie Foster in something.
No.
So.
No. Do you have any more guesses before?
Renee Zellweger.
Nope.
All right, who's the actual?
It's a French film, and it's starring the girl from Rings, actually, but she's actually like acting now and in a good horror movie. But it's a rape revenge film, but it's done in like a way that isn't exploitative and
I was just
gross.
about to say that.
Yeah, and it's just super cool. It delivers on gore, and it's basically just this girl wrecking ass in this desert terrain, and she gets pushed off a cliff by this guy who she's fucking, who she's not supposed to be with because he's married and all this, and she was supposed to just leave, but she ran away because she didn't want to take that deal, and he pushes her off a cliff, and she gets impaled on this like broken thin tree stump.
That's what this movie is.
And she like lifts herself off, comes back from the dead, like tends her wounds, and just murderizes all these assholes, and it's fantastic.
Gotcha. I'm familiar with the poster. I wasn't sure that's what that movie was. Okay.
I probably should have talked about this in style as well, but it's okay. But damn, this movie's cool.
All right, that sounds cool.
It's very very intense.
When I Google this movie, all the similar movies have like posters of just showing girls like butts and legs.
Oh, but also I Spit on Your Grave.
And also I Spit on Your Grave. And the original I Spit on Your Grave. Are those good? No, right?
I think I was at a point in my life. You saw the first one, didn't you?
Yeah, I watched it with.
I think I was at a point in my life when I didn't realize like why this movie would be completely horrifying to a woman. And now it just makes me feel really gross.
And now that you're not a teenager,
I think that to be fair, the revenge part is very good. It's really good deaths.
Yes,
but yeah.
But the rest of it.
So it seems like revenge is sort of taking on the mantle of I Spit on Your Grave, but making it maybe better.
Yeah.
Not focusing so much on the rape part.
No. Not at all, almost.
So...
I don't know if it hangs, but I want to...
It sounds cool.
It's very good.
Now I know what that movie with that cool poster is. So, cool.
Check it out.
Now, if we're going to lock something, you know...
If we're going to lock something...
POOKA!
Blumhouse's Truth or Dare
yeah, baby.
is, fantastic.
When you say the word art, the first that comes to mind.
You think of entertainment. When you think of edge of your seat thrills, you think of Blumhouse's Truth or Dare.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's a fun horror movie. I like it more than anyone here.
Yeah,
you like it
more than anyone ever. I think.
Listen, it's fine. I don't care what's the hate. It's fine. But that's all I gotta say. I guess we can take it off now.
I guess.
Guys, you know what? Let's just like declare the winner right now. Right? No more bullshit. Slenderman 28.
Why is that? None of us liked that.
What do you mean?
I guess it was a weak year. We had to fill a list.
We just put every horror movie
Yeah,
we saw.
Yes, that's exactly moment. Yes, I just like fill it out.
Wait, then where's The Purge?
Look, Slenderman.
That was fuck.
Yep.
The thing about
Dank Web.
The thing about Slenderman 2018.
Right, I'm putting that on there.
We gotta talk about Unfriended too. Anyway, go ahead.
Slenderman. Just the concept of a guy who's like really tall and skinny. I could never
relate to that.
I could never get down. I could never even fathom what that means. Like if he also had a thyroid problem, then I'd really be in on that.
This is you're the Slenderman origin story. That's what happened to him. He got his thyroid taken out, and then he grew tentacles and went to the forest.
Actually, I love how in that movie everyone lives behind the woods.
The big woods. It's like the woods from New Blair Witch. It's just giant and massive, endless.
All right, well, I'm taking out the list.
What do you mean?
For the listeners...
Remember the part where the boyfriend was like... Blah, 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 blah.
And the entire theater was laughing at the movie. You know,
God.
that was, if we had a category for most magical theater experiences, that would be one
win.
of them.
All right, did you guys say that like everyone's in,
I
like, this is terrible?
want to see like the behind the scenes of that movie so bad. I want to know what happened from like the beginning, like to like writing down the concept of like what the fucking executive producers like. This is what the kids are into now.
That sounds like a Sony bit. Yeah,
Mhm,
that checks out.
mhm.
So far we have Hereditary, Suspiria, Cam, POOKA, Mandy, Hellfest, The Ritual, Midnight Man, Revenge, and I added unfinished.
Unfinished Dark.
You know what? Fuck it, it's not even worth it. I'm just taking it off now. I liked Unfriended Dark Web. I thought it was okay.
What's a standout part?
Tell me more, George.
I thought it's certainly better than the first one.
Yeah,
we can all
not
agree.
hard to do, but yeah.
I thought it was fine. That's all I'll say. I thought it was
Remember
okay.
that part
Def-
where they hacked his speakers.
Oh god.
I remember I was sitting next to someone who was like,
and
and we were like,
I was like horrible. I was like, that's fucking real.
It is real.
That's just real.
it is real, but it's real. And
I'm
like,
sorry, George.
It's
No, it's
real,
fine.
It's real
I'm
and
not judging
modern
you.
to a point where it's kind of funny.
Okay, I can see that. Like we just gotta figure out like every fucking like
Yeah.
cryptocurrency fucking
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fucking figured out how to make V-Bucks into fucking whatever the hell.
I think what made that scene stupid is like he went out of his way to like make himself get shot. Still, like he went up the stairs,
Yeah.
like just like lay down with their hands on.
He
the
really
ground.
sold that, and he really was like, oh god.
Oh, what a good movie.
Man.
You know, best horror movie.
Best horror movie.
All right,
And it's been
Hellfest.
cut.
If we're getting rid of Unfinished Dark Web,
Hold
Hellfest
on.
ain't shit. Come on
Whoa,
now.
whoa.
Come on now.
Remember the
Yeah,
part
I
where
The girl from Scream was in it. The TV show.
Oh yeah.
Nope, he didn't remember that.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of Scream 4 for some reason. Emma Roberts.
I haven't thought of Scream 4 since I saw
yeah,
it.
Hellfest is not good. I was just surprised that it wasn't garbage.
That is true.
It
It's
isn't
just
garbage, but
the
it
most-
doesn't do anything.
It's the most middling horror movie of all I've seen this of that year.
That's fair.
It just fills a Netflix slot.
I'm not
It does
very-
feel like a Netflix ass movie.
Speaking of Netflix movies,
No.
we'll talk about The Ritual, because
Oh, thank
I'm the
God.
only one who liked this,
It's
I think.
true.
So this movie was... Are you familiar with this one,
I'm
George?
not.
It's this group of 4 dudes who had a tragedy happen where their 5th dude friend got murdered, and he wanted to go on this hiking trip, and when he gets murdered, they're like, well, let's go on that hiking trip that he wanted to go on. And so it's these 4 grieving guys going through the Scandinavian wilderness together.
The boys.
The boys. And most of it is, you know, very meh, but there's some really cool scenes, like the guy who blames himself the most for his friend getting murdered. It was like a robbery situation at a gas station, and there's this one member of the gang who feels like he could have done more to prevent his friend from being killed, so he's carrying a lot of guilt with him on this trip, and he has these flashbacks. And the way that they stage it in the movie is just very cool because it's the middle of the forest.
But he kind of walks into the convenience store.
yeah,
where
it's
the
like
robbery happened.
the lights
They
are
like mix together.
yeah exactly. The lights are hanging in their shelves, but it's still incorporated into the forest.
There's
and
like
I just
there's like
love
trees
that.
like rooted through
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
It's that part is
very
really
cool. And then a lot of people don't like the ending, but I think the ending is fantastic.
I don't like. I'm on that
It
group.
was
I don't like the.
amazing because they end up. It's not as subtle as Blair Witch, but it's very Blair Witchy, where it's like this group of people going loopy in the woods,
Right.
and they're lost and they're starting to get desperate.
But it goes into
And
more
then-
cult kind of
Yeah,
things.
they happen upon this weird cult village, and it ends up being these people who worship this Norse god forest creature. And the creature shows up, and I just gotta say, the creature design is super cool, very
It sounds
weird
alright.
looking, and it just wrecks shit in this forest.
But also-
and I liked it a lot.
It sounds like it could be like a VHS short though.
Yes, yeah, it could have been shortened a lot, and it
Okay.
wouldn't have really lost much. but because a lot of the runtime is like fleshing out the unrest between these friends,
Right.
and a lot of that wasn't super compelling. I just liked a lot of the set pieces of the convenience store in the forest, and the final creature design was very cool.
I was not a big
I feel
fan
like
about
there are a few movies
It looked like something out of Hannibal.
I feel
That's
like
why I liked it.
Yeah, well.
It looked like the Wendigo from Hannibal.
I know there was a Wendigo in Hannibal.
Hannibal goes there. I know
Uh,
from the 3 episodes I've watched with Carrie.
Okay. I feel like there are a few movies that do that whole like let's set up these like this group of characters a lot and then let's have the weird thing happen chorus to the end. There was
Yeah,
a Ty West movie with the cult. What was it called? Are you guys familiar with Ty West? He did
A little bit. I can't say any of these movies though.
Anyways, but it was sort of that thing like, hey, here's like 3/4 of the movie, getting to know these characters and situation, and then shit goes wild real
Right,
quick.
yeah.
Anyway, so we're cutting it or we
Yeah, I already cut it, but I just wanted to mention it.
Ryan, I'm breaking kayfabe. Can you bring me my glasses over there? Because my phone's about to die.
Yes.
I need to look at this list. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
All right. So could someone cut that if they haven't
I
already?
did it, yeah.
All right. So I think I was gonna read the list again, but I think we said it. What the fuck is the Midnight Man? No, wait. You talked about this. This is a Carrie joint.
What?
This is a Carrie joint. To be fair, Midnight Man does feature a kid exploding, which is very good.
See, last time we had these discussions, my bit was the Bye Bye Man. So this year it's the Midnight Man. And honestly, Midnight Man compared to Bye Bye Man is actually competent and all right. You gotta admit, Ryan, if you're comparing the two, Midnight Man is much better, and it actually does some things.
It does.
Bye Bye Man sucks ass, but it's hilarious. Midnight Man also
the
sucks
Bye-Bye-
ass, also hilarious.
The Bye Bye
But all
Man feels like it doesn't know what it's doing. The Midnight Man knows what it's doing. What it's doing just isn't very good. At least it has a sense of direction and a concept that's it's not completely like ignoring concepts it builds. It's trying to build on.
The Bye Bye Man, another one of those concept horror films
Yeah,
that we were
exactly.
talking about earlier. Don't think it, don't say it. No, but the Midnight Man.
Don't
is
read the desk. The cabinet. Dad, I can't read in the dark.
What am I, a flashlight? God, that movie's so great. But no, Midnight Man definitely doesn't hang, but I just wanted to give it another shout out, give it some love, because it does some stuff that is decent, like because basically in the game you have to follow all these rules, otherwise the Midnight Man comes and gets you, and he does a very Pennywise thing where he presents you with, you have to write down what your biggest fear is when you're entering the game, basically, and whatever you write down is what happens to you if you break the rules, and he comes to kill you. And so a lot of the scenes of people confronting their biggest fear are just honestly pretty cool, and there's some practical effects that I really like, and as far as Carrie joints go, it's actually pretty okay.
All right, but it's
I
not
think
one
it's
of the
definitely-
three best horror
No.
movies. All right.
I think if you're one of the type of people who's like, I want to watch a dumb horror movie with
Yeah,
the friends.
Exactly. Yes.
This is a very
Decent?
good
Okay.
dumb horror movie
Yes.
to watch with the friends to laugh at.
Okay.
And again, a kid literally explodes.
He explodes in the first 5 minutes, and then giblets of him fall from the sky.
It's very good.
Oh, damn. All right.
Hereditary, Suspiria, Cam, POOKA, Mandy, Revenge.
All right. So
How
I
are we
feel
feeling
like-
so far?
I can tell you that I think it's hard. Okay, it's not even hard. The winner of this category is Hereditary.
Woohoo.
I think the winner is Hereditary. Me personally. Ryan!
Don't
I
look at
didn't see
me.
this coming. I
Ryan
didn't see this
wants
coming.
Suspiria to win.
Oh,
Yeah, I love Suspiria a lot. And there's one that I would want to win purely out of like
I
love
did
it a
not
lot.
think this was gonna be this difficult. Okay, then never mind. Check what I just said.
I think
Is Mandy what considered for the like? I think it's not considered, but does it fit the top three?
I think
I don't know if I like Mandy as a horror movie.
Mhm.
I don't.
Well, I mean, like, I don't think of it when
I don't think of it
as a horror.
I don't think of it
movie.
as a horror movie.
Like, I love that movie,
I don't
and
know
I'm
what I think
happy.
of it
I think it's like a
psychedelic thriller.
yeah, it's like a revenge movie basically, but it's so I guess if we're cutting Mandy, we would have to cut Revenge too, because they're kind of the same thing, I guess, on a very very base level. But
It's like a subgenre that's kind of far away from its parent.
yeah.
All right. Well then,
I think Mandy is horror in the same sense that like, Army of Darkness would be a horror movie.
Like it
has horror elements,
it's
but
very,
that's not what it is.
It's extreme. Like there's a lot of gore and there's demon people, but I still don't think of it as a horror movie. I think of it as a high octane punch in the face.
All right. Well, the list got cut down significantly then, so we're at 4 now. So
Cam and POOKA.
POOKA. I don't think POOKA hangs.
You don't think POOKA hangs?
I love POOKA.
I like POOKA a lot as well. I think it's a good Twilight Zone episode.
Okay, so which pretty...
I like POOKA more than Cam.
What? Okay.
Which pretty Twilight Zone episode is better, Cam or POOKA?
POOKA, I think.
Cam, I would say.
I like POOKA more, but
I know. I think. Well,
here's why I love Cam as a horror movie.
No, POOKA's better. Sorry.
Okay. What Cam does, not only with like the blood and the actual like violence, but it has like that psychological horror to it.
Yes.
Where you don't really understand what's going on.
Well, POOKA does that
and your
too.
sense of
POOKA does that
identity.
as well.
I feel like Cam does it more because it's more of like. It feels like a presence that you can't control, while POOKA feels like...
Cam is more of an identity anomaly, and POOKA is like a time anomaly.
Yes. And also Cam sort of just feels more grounded to me in the fact that line of work seems like it's very mentally exhausting, and I could see like someone just sort of like this going crazy.
And that like adds to other things because when she interacts with some of like the men on the website, like on the surface they act like normal, but then like as she talks to them more, she's like, oh, okay, this person's awful, and the distance actually like makes it tolerable. Because like with the fucking scrawny looking guy, one of my favorite scenes of the movie is like, I'm doing research. I'm just researching when he's Jado to the fucking porn lady. That scene's hilarious because he's just like insane.
It's weird for me to be on the POOKA team, and also I don't feel so strong about POOKA. Like maybe that just speaks for me how weak of a year is for. I wish I saw Revenge.
I really wanted Cam to be in top 3,
but Ryan.
I don't even feel that much strongly about POOKA, but I think it does. I think they're very similar movies.
I think as far as what I enjoy about POOKA, it's got a lot of reincorporation of small details, and then once the entire story unfolds, you can go back and unpack more of it. Not that Cam doesn't do that, but POOKA is more explicit about it. I don't know if that's a strength or a weakness.
The thing with POOKA is, without spoiling it, is its ending really lends itself to watching again and noticing other things. And that's just the type of movie it is.
It's a very good Twilight Zone episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so is Cam.
I think POOKA's a better one.
Oh my god, I fucking hate you guys. Why do I do this fucking show? I'm deleting Cam.
Hey man, I wasn't happy about Happy Death Day taking an L either.
Ryan, you get Suspiria.
Not yet.
I want Cam to be top. I knew Cam would win it top 3 though. That was my goal. I know.
Who took the exclamation point off the end of POOKA? Come on!
I honestly can't believe POOKA's there, but it makes sense.
POOKA's so good, though.
It makes sense.
I think the debate here is between Hereditary and Suspiria.
I think Hereditary for me just feels more like a horror movie by the traditional definition of a horror movie.
That's true.
And I think that helps because it's so goddamn good at what it does. And hey, keep in mind, I was sort of disappointed by Hereditary, but when I look horror movies 2018, I think Hereditary just knocks everyone like fucking straight off with a sucker punch. Like,
yes, I would agree with that.
And I think Suspiria is fucking fantastic.
They're both amazing.
But I think it's just the fact that it's in that traditional horror style and it does it so well.
And it just works so much. Like just for me, as a person who watches a ton of horror movies, Hereditary made me feel upset, and like that doesn't happen ever. And so I think that I don't know that I don't know if that's a Oh, you already wrote winner. Cool, perfect.
I still feel very passionate about Suspiria.
Suspiria
But
is
it's
amazing.
definitely like
It's
my
very good.
kind of horror movies where
It
it's
is
more
very much your, yeah.
it's more artsy
Yeah.
in weird
It's
way.
a cool horror movie where you guys like.
No.
ghosts.
I fucking love Hereditary. Hereditary is amazing. It's just that if I had to choose one or the other to
That's
watch,
true.
I would watch
It's
Suspiria.
very much a Ryan movie.
But if we're talking like, you guys make a good point. If we're talking like clean like horror, that's what
Hereditary.
Hereditary does, and that's what it.
That's like the most
strength
basic
is.
concept.
Yeah, this is the year of us picking the basic answers for each category.
But Vice hasn't been nominated for
Best
anything.
horror movie, Vice. Have you seen Christian Bale? Jesus.
All right. Hereditary,
To
congratulations.
be fair, a lot of people chose A Quiet Place as their favorite horror
Jesus,
movie.
that's very true. That's very true.
You know what?
I feel a lot better
You
now.
know what? Fuck A Quiet Place.
God. Not
Hey,
even top 20. I'd
To
put
be
fucking
fair,
Truth or Dare.
we're
for that
definitely
shit.
the only people on the planet who put POOKA in the top 3 horror movies.
Yeah, it
of
sucks
20.
that
You know what? I'm gonna tweet POOKA about it.
That's very true. It's not our fault that people don't have good taste.
Exactly.
All right. So Hereditary.
POOKA, I love you too, but please, if you just watch Cam, you will understand why I like it a lot, okay?
All right.
Listen.
So,
Cam's really fucking good.
Gary,
Cam-
can you
Cam
scroll
is
down this
good.
list for us so we can get it all, or at least I
So
can.
next up is Worst Movie.
Did we want to take a break?
Oh, right. We were gonna take a break, right?
Oh wow, there's a lot.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a break right now, and we will reconvene and decide standout moment and worst movie. We're back. Time to discuss the worst films. I think we had a conversation before that we were gonna have worst movie. We usually I think last year we had it right before the best, but I remember thinking I was like we have like now like best performance right before the best movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to have the good vibes before going into best movie. So now
We don't want to already feel defeated.
Yes, exactly. It's like fucking who cares about movies? What do we even do a
paid movie
podcast
for this.
So worst movies of 2018. Ryan, do you want to read the list?
Boy. So we have Mute, Ready Player One, The Nun, Slenderman, Assassination Nation, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, Aquaman 2018, Venom, The Cloverfield Paradox, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Pacific Rim, Uprising, Tomb Raider, The Girl with the Dragon, the girl in the
demon house.
the girl in the spider's web, the girl in the demon house, Solo, a demon house story, and Halloween.
So it is an interesting.
Where do we want to start here?
It is an interesting array of movies.
Well, I think we all know that Aquaman's definitely not one
No,
of the
I
worst.
mean, I think that was an oversight on our part. We apologize to our listeners for redact that for the record.
Please do not put that when you
We
rate
will
us 1
send an
star.
apology letter to Jason Momoa.
We have his personal contact information when he mailed me back saying, "Stop mailing me, Ryan."
Does anyone even remember anything from the Cloverfield Paradox for it to even be here? Like, I understand it was bad, but it was also the most forgettable movie of the year for like by a
Did
country
you
mile.
see it, George?
No.
Good.
They use their flux capacitor machine or whatever, and then they look outside and they see that the Earth is gone, and they're like, "We destroyed the Earth." Instead of thinking we moved, they think
What
we
a
destroyed
flash in the
Earth.
pan, fucking what a bad, like a middling tweet of a movie. Like, just,
Guys, where's the Earth? There's the part where fucking Elizabeth Debicki is just in the wall.
Yeah,
I
There's
guess
the worm guy. That part's pretty great.
yeah.
the piece
So yeah,
I will,
it really should not be on worst
the
movie
piece
list.
I will say for it is that it's a bummer that that's the follow up to 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
So it's
To be
gone.
fair, it doesn't feel like that at all.
No, like follow up in terms of like it's another movie in the Cloverfield franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this concept is now dead? Because Because when they first did this,
It's wild how that movie sort of like killed
when
the
they
brand.
first did Cloverfield Lane, people were like, yes, we want more of this weird take on it. And then this came out, and people were like,
We're good, actually.
we're actually, you fucked up really bad, so we're good.
I think that's sort of where it's at.
Because Overlord was rumored to be one of those, and I still haven't
thought
seen
that's
it.
what it was.
Me too. But
It was
it's not.
reported on that for like months, like it just is. But then last minute they're like, no,
It sounds like some people got worked. That's what it sounds like.
Whatever happened, it doesn't matter because we haven't seen it, so we can't comment on it.
Mm-hmm.
But we have
Solo, a Star Wars movie, is a forgettable motion picture. It is not the worst movie of the year, I think, or the top 3.
George.
Oh, okay.
I deeply despise Solo, a Star Wars story, solely because it offers nothing.
Let me tell you about
people's-
Emilia Clarke.
And people's arguments for it is like, but it's fun. I had fun. Right, you had fun. It's like,
I mean, you do.
I do.
That is true.
We
But
had
that's
this
neither
we
here
had
nor
this
there.
conversation on Letterboxd recently. But it's just it says nothing. It has his whole origin in like the span of like 2 days.
Yeah.
Where like he gets his fucking name, he gets his fucking ship, he does the Kessel Run, which I understand less of
Yeah,
now.
me too. It's like,
Like, I don't get it. Like, I even asked one of our Star Wars friends, I was like, can you explain it to me? He's like, Brian, it's so simple. What's wrong with you? Like, you go through stars. It's not really about distance. It's more about how close you get to the star. It's like, but what
It is.
is it?
It is extremely prequel energy
And
with that
why?
movie. Well, it's like the thing. Remember that thing? Like that was a mystery. Like let's just explain it, and you just ruined it. Like Han Solo's lame now somehow.
Yeah, he sucks. He just
Yeah.
sucks. The whole movie is about him wanting to get back with Emilia Clarke, even though you know
Emilia
this
Clarke
isn't
is
going
a very
to work
good-looking
out.
person. And a great actress, but and a misuse of Donald Glover also.
Yes,
so-
he deserves a lot. He deserved a lot better.
He
than
deserved
this.
a whole lot fucking better. He was exactly what I thought. What was worried he would be. Where he's just like a bit character. Like let's put Donald Glover, let's pay him. Let's put him in a fucking.
Let's make him wacky.
Let's put him in the costume. He's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is, baby. And it's like, great, fantastic, love it. Let's go home. I don't think it needs to be on this
There was his robot that he loved or didn't
That
love.
robot was so annoying.
Yeah.
I understood what they were trying to do with that robot, but
It felt
They try
like
to do something with every robot.
It
in
felt
Star
like
Wars.
a parody, though. It
Yeah.
was dumb.
It felt like they were trying really hard with that.
I think looking back at this movie after we've seen Spiderverse and seen like update like what Chris Lord and Phil Miller.
Yeah, me too. I did the same thing.
I
I was
got
like,
Chris Lord and Phil Miller.
Miller, Chris.
Like what they're capable
Yes.
of, and it's just like, man, this movie could have been like
It 100.
could have been cool.
It feels like
A Ron Howard film. Because-
well, yes.
Yeah,
no,
very
but
much
I mean,
feels like
I was
Ron Howard.
comparing
Whoa.
I was gonna compare the situation to. It feels like we could have gotten something really cool, like with Edgar Wright was supposed to do Ant-Man.
Right.
It feels like it
but
was
you can
gonna
still
be...
feel some of the Edgar Wright like flavor in that movie.
That's
a
true.
little bit. Here it's like it's just gone. I don't even know.
Especially with that, like they did it with Edgar Wright. It's not like he just wrote everything out and it was all set up and there was like, actually, I'm
out.
bouncing, and they just got someone else in. This was they filmed the whole movie
Yeah.
again, which is like, what? Like, how bad could this have conceivably be?
And it didn't work out for anyone.
No,
Like it was a weird moment for like Disney just egg on their face. Like this is just a waste of everyone's time and energy. So it's gone.
and I think I remember seeing like an article from like the Disney CEO, like, yeah, we kind of overdid a Star Wars for a
We
little bit
fucked
there,
that one up, huh?
but everyone
Anyways.
appreciated that Star Wars break, aren't they?
I
Remember the last time? What was the last time you even heard about a Star Wars, George?
apparently 2018 when I saw the motion picture Solo.
I know,
apparently.
right? It's crazy.
If you told me, George, you didn't see that movie, I was like, oh, I guess I didn't. I thought I did.
I have the ticket stub, but maybe I just didn't see it. 'cause-
Anyways, speaking of that, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald is a motion picture that certainly did not need to exist, and questions why I even liked Harry Potter. Carrie, you're the only one here who saw it.
I know, and so I'm trying to remember why I was angry about it, but I don't know.
I mean, Nagini is
Oh, yeah.
a lady. That was really fucking dumb.
Yeah, and I'll have you know she was also Asian, so
Yeah, man.
there is representation. You're just not looking hard enough.
And also, they like just retconned a bunch of shit they made up for the first movie. It's like, remember that thing we set up? Don't worry about it. That's actually not even a thing.
Remember that thing from 2 years ago?
No. Well, don't worry about it anyways. Okay.
Oh yeah, and Grindelwald ripped a fat vape cloud from
Yes,
that
I do
skull
remember this.
thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Showed them a vision of the future of like World War II, and they were all like, "Oh no." Yeah, this movie's bad.
But it doesn't need to be on here.
No, it's okay. It's still got Ezra Miller in it, and he's cute.
That is true.
I'd like to.
Is Ezra Miller canceled yet? That seems like prime canceled material.
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, you can cancel him and still be attractive.
He's stronger than ever, I think.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think.
brand
I'm
is
just
strong.
thinking about his Playboy photo shoot.
Yeah.
I like to. I'm gonna cut the Girl with the Dragons in the spider's web. So I watched
Girl into the girl verse. What?
Yes. So, like, I love the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It's a fantastic like thriller mystery.
I need to watch. As someone who loves Gone Girl, it appears that I need to watch that movie.
It's very good, especially in terms of like structure. It doesn't like feel like a normal. It's like these two different movies happening at the same time, and then they end, and then another movie starts with both of them interacting. It's crazy and weird.
But this movie seems like they remembered they had the rights to it and they had to do something.
Well,
with
like
it.
what's interesting about this is originally Girl in the Dragon's Tattoo was supposed to be like a trilogy, but it lost a lot of money.
Oh, right, you're right. I remember this. It was
money.
not successful.
And like the sequels, because like there's an original Swedish film trilogy based on the books, and those are like The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Web and
Hornet's Nest.
Hornet's Nest.
Hornets don't build webs.
And The Girl Who Played with Fire.
Uh-huh.
And those are both. And those all three were based on books by this one guy, but then the guy died like halfway through writing the fourth one. And then very recently, just some other guy, I don't know the exact story, just started writing sequels to them. And the first one was The Girl in the Spider's Web, and then followed by The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye, which is a bad title for a book, I'll be honest. And so when they made this, they just like, well, let's just skip straight to the fourth book in the trilogy. And you can really feel that in this, because it's supposed to be a sequel to The Girl in the with the Dragon's Tattoo.
I don't know what the budget for this was.
But they talk about things that happen in between the movies, and it's weird. And also, this movie isn't really about.
Claire Foy, shout out.
She's such a great actress, but she's not given a lot to work with here.
Directed by fucking Fede Alvarez.
Yeah. So like so much stuff should be working out here.
I think he's kind of hit or miss. But
That's true, but I feel like this is something that feels very like he could have done better, because it feels like a boring action movie, which is such a big departure because there was like no action in that original film. It was all about the mystery. And also a big part of that original film is all about like, there's this whole side thing of like what happened to like her family. Basically, she killed her dad. And then the plot of this one is, my dad died recently, like a few years ago, and this sister that I never mentioned I had, she was crazy and evil, and we gotta take her out or something.
But it's not worst movie.
It's not worst movie.
It's probably even closer to another category.
It's much closer to another category that's on our list, I would say. But it's so. It had a few moments that were pretty good, but it's such a look into something that could have been great, and it's like, oh man, this sucks.
All right,
this deeply sucks.
The list as it is now, with that taken off, is Mute, Ready Player One, The Nun, Slenderman, Assassination Nation, Venom, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, Pacific Rim: Uprising, Tomb Raider, Demon House, and Halloween. And I think I can now encapsulate the energy I'm feeling in this category. It's a lot of movies like, man, who the fuck gives a shit?
Yeah.
What is your deal with Tomb Raider 2018?
Because who fucking gives a shit?
What do you mean?
About fucking Lara Croft.
We don't even care about the video games. Like, nobody cares.
But Carrie, did you see that?
I'm gonna get my happy ass on a boat so I don't have to sign my dad's company away, and then I'm gonna go find my dad. Oh, my dad's alive, but Walton Goggins is here. Oh no, but it's not really like skeleton magic monsters. It's a disease. Oh.
That sounds less far-fetched.
She rode that bike really fast.
Yeah, okay. You just like it because you want Lara Croft to strangle you and then throw you down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just like it because her arms are beefy.
They are beefy. She's a toned woman. She could kick my ass. She could kick all of our asses. And you know what? We'd all be fine with it.
Yeah.
And for that reason alone, I say it should be removed from the worst filmed list.
Yeah, I don't really.
Does it? Wow, man. Again, like this category has so much. Who gives a shit?
I don't really care about most of these.
Yeah, God. Okay. Like, can here's what I'm saying. Movies that are bad, can you like up your game and be more terrible so it's at least interesting? Come on now. Like Pacific Rim Uprising. Like, what are we doing here, guys? John Boyega, I get it. Listen, I get it. Pacific Rim was a good movie. Definitively. It was a good motion picture.
You guys are so fucking funny. Oh, man.
Pacific Rim Uprising is just it's just a smear on the great legacy of Pacific Rim.
Oh, boy. Oh, you're killing me here, man.
At the same time, it is not one of the worst movies of 2018.
No.
There is a category where it'll do very well later.
Let's talk about Venom for a second.
Yeah, I never saw Venom.
You still haven't seen Venom?
No.
A lot of people tell me Venom is good, actually.
No.
I hear like extreme opposite opinions like every other day. Like I'll see someone be like, you know what, I watched Venom, it was
It's
great,
alright.
it was fun, and then I'll see a tweet that's like, oh, you people who told me that Venom was fun, actually, you owe me $5. This is terrible. And I was like, I'm just not gonna commit to watching this.
It's just so weird, and it does nothing. It does nothing. There's nothing about it. It's so weird. Him and Venom kiss at one point. People won't shut up about a scene where he just like goes into a fancy restaurant and jumps in a lobster tank and just starts eating lobsters out of the tank. They're like, it's so much fun.
This sounds pretty good, right?
No, it's weird. It's such a weird movie. There's a part where
weird is better than boring.
That's true.
The Stanley cameo, he talks to Tom Hardy. He's like, you guys are doing really good. Then he walks away. He's like, wait, what did he mean, us guys? Where is he? That's literally what happened. That was the literal Stanley cameo. It was so weird. It was the last scene of the movie. And God forbid the post-credit scene. It's the longest thing.
It's the setup Carnage,
the setup for Carnage. It's the longest post-credit scene ever. And Woody Harrelson is wearing a fucking Wendy's wig. It's so weird. And he literally says his character is like, when I get out of here, Tom Hardy,
there's gonna be some carnage.
There's gonna be a bunch of carnage, and you're gonna be like,
oh, Girl Venom is in this movie, no?
What?
Am I making this up? Isn't like the She-Venom?
Yes.
Oh, I completely forgot about this.
Yes,
Totally.
She-Venom is in the movie.
Man, you know what? This movie is pretty good.
No. You know how She-Venom looks in the comics?
Yes, I do.
It's the exact same.
Yeah, you totally. We had this conversation.
It's the exact same.
I asked about the boobs, and you said
yes. I'm gonna bust a nut.
I'm gonna bust some goo because he's full of goo.
Going gum.
That's the kiss scene. She-Venom kisses Tom Hardy, and the kiss, and then the kiss makes the goo go from Michelle Williams onto Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Michelle Williams also in this motion picture.
Yeah, she said she did it for a paycheck.
You know, this sounds alright, honestly.
Yeah, good, honest, good. Michelle Williams deserves
Venom,
one good thing.
too interesting for this list. That's what I gotta say, honestly.
It is certainly a film that you can talk about and not want to blow your brains out immediately.
Yay.
Is it a good movie? No. And if you're gonna argue with me on that, then I don't care. I really don't care. I had fun. Remember the part where he talked about eating a spleen, and then he wanted to turn the guy into a little poo. He was rolling down the street like a little poo. It was funny. The scene from the trailer was like, "You're just gonna be like a turd in the wind when I'm done with you, buddy." It's
not
like,
ringing any bells.
it's A guy is holding up a convenience store, and Tom Hardy's like, "Oh man, I guess I gotta take care of this." Then Venom comes out, and he grabs the criminal. He's like, "I'm going to eat your pancreas, and then your spleen, and then your eyes, and you'll just be this lifeless little turd in the wind."
What the fuck?
It's like, whoa. Also, like I said on our discussion, he says Eddie in a very funny way. Eddie.
I do like that.
I'm so sorry, Eddie. I was a bit of a loser on my planet too, Eddie.
Eddie.
That part especially was awful. I was a bit of a loser on my planet too, Eddie. That's why I want to kill all of my fucking people.
So, folks, Halloween, there is a category where Halloween may sweep the category. I don't know if it's the worst movie of the year. I would describe it as disappointing. Because I can't think if there's anything bad about Halloween. Just underwhelming. Unless y'all think it should be on here.
Well, no, I'm just trying to think of things that are bad about it.
I'm trying to think of things that happen in it.
That guy, he was like, we're making a podcast, guys.
That was hilarious.
That was the best part of the movie, honestly.
I didn't like some of the teen stuff. I didn't about.
Like, and again, this falls in the disappointing, the fact that it was marketed as like, oh, fucking Michael Myers versus Jamie Lee Curtis. Here we go, baby.
Yeah.
And it's not that at all.
No.
It's not. It's like here's
a
daughter hanging out.
It's that fucking, this is gonna be a stretch, but it's like that one 3 Generations movie that had Lindsay Lohan in it. It's like that movie meets Halloween, where it's like about the grandma and the mom and the daughter, and they're all like hanging out together.
Yeah,
but it's this. It's the same. It's the same group of people.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm just saying it's the same cast of characters that would be a grandma, a mom, and a daughter. Okay. But in this one, it's them fighting off against Michael Myers.
All right. Well, Halloween, we will revisit you, but you're not here. So we're at Mute, Ready Player One, The Nun, Slenderman, Assassination Nation, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, and Demon House. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is a fucking terrible goddamn movie. You know the fucking energy? Like, Jurassic World 1 had a few redeeming action scenes in it. It was pretty good.
Like how they just mauled that lady.
It was still a bad movie. Like, it's steeped in cliche. It's just, like, having, like, oh, this is a fun time, guys, right? And, like, fucking, what's his name? His name is escaping me like it always does with this podcast.
Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt is like, oh, I'm a good, cool guy. And fucking,
my church has no problems.
My church is pretty cool, actually. And old Gwen Stacy's like, I guess so. But at least there's cool dinosaurs, and you remember the concept of Jurassic Park. It's like, oh man, that was a good movie. This is fun. And Jurassic World's just like, this song, like, this party's gone on too long, guys. We need to go. Why are we still like, yes, that bit was really funny. It's still cool, but now... And there's like some fucking nerd guys like, guys, I don't want to go to Jurassic Park. It's scary. And there's like this fucking pussy ass bitch right here. Am I right, guys? It's like, okay, I'll go. Yeah, dinosaurs. It's just a bad.
I don't know if you've ever said. I don't think you've said one distinguishable thing that happened in this movie. You're just saying feelings, and I love it still.
Listen, yeah, I'm fully ready to put this.
I assume that people listened to the episode Jurassic World, but if you didn't, this movie, like, the setup is just so ridiculous, and it just feels like it's going on. Like, they go back, like, we gotta save the dinosaurs, and like, no, we're not saving the dinosaurs. Actually, gotcha. We're gonna sell them for profit. Oh no, who could have saw this coming, guys? And it's just not fun along the way. It just feels like a sci-fi B-grade movie. It's just a waste of everyone's time, and makes me feel like Jurassic Park sucks. Like, at this point, there's more bad Jurassic Park than good Jurassic Park by like a huge amount. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, what are we doing here, guys? I don't even know. Even the Jeff Goldblum can't save it from this. Even the fact that the final bit is that, like, when spoilers for Jurassic World, I think I said this on the podcast, that when the dinosaurs, because they bring them to, they're gonna auction them out. It's like the son of one of the co-partners with Dr. Grant. I forget who William Attenborough's character, but the partner of William Attenborough. He's the last remaining like person like in charge of Jurassic Park, and he tells his son like, yeah, you can go. He's gonna save all the dinosaurs for me. He's a great guy. Psych. He takes them. He's gonna sell them, and then the dinosaurs run out of the auction house. It's really wild. And then Jeff Goldblum is at a court hearing, and he's all like, "We are now living in a Jurassic World. Bam, bam, bam! And the next movie's like, oh no, we're living in Jurassic World. So I know what you call Jurassic World, the third one, because we're at Jurassic World now.
Jurassic World.
I don't know. It's not good.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm
glad I didn't see it.
I think this is a contender for worst movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can keep it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is now getting tough, I'll be honest, because I hate all, like, I've seen the rest of these movies, and I really hate all of them.
What do you mean?
All right, you want to talk about Demon House, Kieran? We can talk about Demon House.
Yeah, you can talk about Demon House.
Demon House. I put it on the list, so I know it's bad, but it's also hilarious.
All right,
but
Carrie.
I think it should stay on because it's just awful. It's so bad. Like, as a documentary, Ryan. Like,
Yes, as a documentary, it's horrible.
Terrible. Like, if for anyone who doesn't remember, the setup is it's Zach Bagans of Ghost Adventures fame.
That's it, guys.
And that's all we need to know. Worst movie. But he buys this supposedly demon-filled house in Gary, Indiana, and then this entire documentary is just him plopping around in this house and, like, trying to string things together and going.
This is straight faced, right? Like this is Spinal Tap. This is
no.
straight
faced.
This is dead
like
cold.
The
serious.
way Zach Bagans is, he seems like one of his greatest influences is P.T. Barnum.
Oh, okay.
So
he's working us here, brother.
He seems like everything about him seems like he should be facetious, but I don't know. But anyway.
He's an enigma. He has this attitude that makes him seem like he's part of the joke and he's like playing into it.
Yeah,
but
he seems like a made-up character.
He's cold serious about everything,
so
and it's insane.
There's
a part where
have you experienced much Zach Bagans before watching this documentary?
I've seen clips, but like I don't particularly like these shows just because I'm not the biggest like haunted place.
Is his show the one Post Malone went? No,
I wouldn't know.
It was his haunted museum that Post Malone was visiting, and there was security footage of them touching the Dybbuk box.
Because I like documentaries about like haunted like places and stuff, but when they have like these characters like Zach Bagans being like the leading force in it, it's like it just drains all the intrigue out of it. Because it's like we're right here under the murder bridge. It's like, shut up. You're making this.
I'm in your corner, Mr. Boots. That's my favorite episode of Ghost Adventures.
It sounds all right.
But,
no, there's a part where one of the cameramen get possessed.
Oh my god.
And
this sketchy ass dude, they're back at their hotel after they go to the demon house all day, and then the dude's like running around in the hallways, like yelling at the elevator, being like, everything's a bitch, I gotta go back to the house. And he's just like, he got the negative energies of the house infected him too much, and then a little text blurb comes up and it's like, he unfortunately had to be let go.
So, could you imagine, George, if you started working somewhere and you got possessed by a demon and they fired you?
No,
this guy won't cut it. He got possessed by a demon that quickly? No. And then, like, after the movie's over, they show, like what he's up to now. He has, like, a bunch of 666s tattooed on his hands. He's just, like, this crazy person now, apparently. It's like, what the hell's going on? And a scene that we will talk about later, but I need to stress this here. At the very end of it, fucking Zach Bagans like, all right, I've had enough. I'm going to literally lock myself in this house all night. I'm going to close up the doors, and it's going to be me and the fucking demons, and we're just going to see what happens. And he has the camera set up, and he's like, oh my god, it's right there. And then the camera goes blurry.
Well, because it gets to be about, like, 3 a.m. and nothing's happened, so Zach Bagans starts, like, I mean, stuff definitely starts happening, but if one were to be a skeptic, you could look in and see maybe Zach Bagans
it was 3 a.m. and he was bored.
He was starting to sweat and be like, I need something for the finale of my documentary. So he starts flipping shit, and like this house had been empty the entire runtime of the documentary, but once it was the final lockdown, they filled it with a bunch of furniture and TVs and stuff. They didn't turn anything on, but there was stuff for Zach Bagans to knock over, and when he was like getting overcome with the energy, and then he starts complaining that his eyes really hurt and his eyes are sore, and then he's sitting on the bed, and he has his camera next to him, and he starts freaking out. He's like, don't come any closer! Oh! And then you see the footage from his camera, and unfortunately, since he was so spooked by the demon, he like bumped into his camera, and it unfocused.
Yeah.
So you can see this black blob kind of rush at him. But the lasting effects from the black blob are that it ganked Zach Bagans so hard in his face that he has permanent double vision now, and he has to wear corrective prism glasses for the rest of
What
his
an
life.
idiot!
Because I remember, because the events of this movie took place in like it wasn't recently. It's been years since he actually like filmed this, I believe. And I remember watching Ghost Adventures when he started wearing glasses. I was like, what's up with the glasses, you tool? And I was like, oh my god.
I have double vision, actually, because a demon possessed my eyeballs or something.
Yeah,
this movie's a train wreck of a documentary.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's clearly fake. I hate to break it to you.
The lengths he goes to be like, this house is powerful. Like the strings he pulls in, like how he has his psychic friend call him on the phone and do a psychic reading, and then the next week she's murder-suicided by her boyfriend, and he's like, this is probably because of the demons in this house. They went through and made her boyfriend murder her. And it's like, Zach, no. And then the old man whose organs just stop working.
I forgot about that too. Someone has total organ failure, and he's like, oh, the fucking demons. I mean, I have double vision. I definitely have double vision. I'm definitely not just wearing sunglasses.
That's definitely not wearing real 3D glasses that I punched the lenses out. Or we forgot to talk about the best part at the beginning of the movie, the warning screen.
Oh,
where it's
my
like,
God.
demons can possess items, things, and electronical devices. And Zach Bagans alleges that his documentary is haunted with demonic energy. And just by watching it, we invite negative things.
Thankfully, I'm not in that apartment anymore. So
It's full of demons.
it's full of demons.
There's just so much to unpack.
I don't know if I
with
want to
this
keep
movie.
this
This
as
sounds
worst
like it's
movie
not
or
a worst
keep-
movie.
That's true. It's legendary. Can we go back to best horror?
You want to cut it, George? It's all on you if you want to cut it.
I think it sounds fun, and I want to see it.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I don't. Is it like a Prime movie now?
It's
I
a
remember-
Prime movie now.
That always happens to me. I bought it as soon as it came out.
All right.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, so
But
we
it's
got.
awful.
Can we take off the Nun and Slenderman? Well, maybe not Slenderman, but the Nun.
Slenderman needs to stay, but
Yeah, the
The
Nun.
nun is insulting, really.
It's a bummer.
the nun is insulting.
It's
Is that what you said?
it's insulting.
It's
Go on.
insulting. It's
Insulting.
unholy.
Because it's just nothing.
It's nothing.
Nothing happens,
It's just
and it has a
Nun
plot
thing.
that doesn't make any sense for.
Granted, I also
what you're
fell
trying to
asleep for
do.
most of it, so
Yeah, you never experienced the true horror.
I woke up for the
true
fucking
fear.
blood fucking nonsense.
I remember I went to a party, like shortly after this movie came out, and there was a bunch of drunk people. They were like, "Dude, Ryan, fuck the nun." And I was like, "Yes."
Ryan's first solidarity with drunk people.
Fuck the nun. It's like, yes. Am I right?
Finally. See,
finally
when
get
I'm
you.
drunk at parties, people always come up to me and try and talk about Mother. And I'm like, leave me alone! That's happened 3 times!
Oh my god, that's amazing.
3 different people!
that's pretty
Carrie,
good.
next time I'm at a party with you and you're drunk, I'm like, you imagine the mother.
Well, 'cause-
I'm looking back on
A
it.
lot of the people who I'm not like super close with, they know that I do movie stuff, and they're like, and they're all like horror fans.
what'd you
Just
think
like,
about the
they're
Mother?
like, so I just watched, and when it came out on Hulu, and they're like, so I just watched Mother, and I'm like,
I need my full brain to be functioning to truly discuss.
channel my hatred.
Channel my hatred of this.
But yeah, the Nun is nothing, and I'm not looking forward to the Llorona. this year. Actually, I am kind of looking forward to it, but I think it's going to be disappointing. Anyways,
that director has 2 movies come out this year. It's that and a movie called Polaroid, based on a short film he made.
Polaroid is in the horror movie that I've seen ads for the last 2 years.
Yes.
It's finally coming out.
It's been delayed a lot. But I saw the short film it was based off of, and the idea is fine. I think it could be made into a decent horror movie. I don't have a lot of faith in it.
My favorite part of the trailer is when they try and set it on fire, the little picture, and then the girl sets on fire. They're like, oh,
that's
and
pretty good.
Stomp it out.
You see, I've seen
Hereditary?
that,
Exactly.
All right, so we're at Mute, Ready Player One, Slenderman, Assassination Nation, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Oh boy.
Which one of these heavy players do you want to tackle first, Ryan?
In what regard?
It's Ready Player One.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that movie is a nightmare.
It's bad. It's fucking garbage.
I hate that movie so much.
That's really
that's
bad.
a movie where it's like, if someone walks up to me and is like, you know what's a really fun movie, right? That fun people like? Ready Player One. It's like, all right, I'm gonna kill you.
People have also approached me about Ready Player One.
While you were inebriated?
I know. but it's people who I didn't know very well, so I was like, oh yeah. And they were like, oh my god, the Shining part though. And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, that was like the ultimate
really cool.
carry
It's
fucking...
so cool.
That was the ultimate carry rub. We were like, made a bingo card, and then fucking...
Oh, we made bingo cards!
I loved our bingo cards. We're such
That
assholes.
felt like a personal attack on you, Harry.
You know what? I could remove this film
Gary,
from
you
worst
like The
films
Shining, man?
just because we made bingo cards and you almost got a blackout. You really fucking nailed it, Carrie. You can't with the shot the movie began with a Minecraft reference, and you were like, "Oh yeah!"
It was like 5 seconds into the movie.
Fucking Battletoads are in that movie.
They are.
Oh god.
There's the Akira bike and the DeLorean, and fucking.
So, okay.
I can't believe
it was...
that the races were going on for years, and
No
no one thought of going backwards. No one.
Nope.
Not a single person. Also, why this guy? What does this guy even do?
That's the thing for me that makes this movie bad. It's this guy and the relationship with the female protagonist in this movie. It is
who is a hideous, fucking disgusting monster. Oh my god.
This is great audio, probably.
Could you imagine because what year is this movie supposed to take place? 2000, 30,
I don't know.
40 something?
It's in the future enough that people will still get mad at you if you haven't seen The Shining. So it's in the future, but not hundreds of years.
I'm gonna say 1930, all right? So that's so this kid in 1930. He loves 80s pop culture. That's if someone now, someone that we knew around our...
That was 1930?
No, 2030s.
Okay, I was like, what?
2030s, sorry. 2030s, loving the 80s, 50 years back. Imagine if we had a friend who was like, dude, Ryan, it never got better than the 50s. It never got better. The music
if I never
was the
grew
best.
up past high school.
Yes.
Oof. Yeah.
First off, that person's probably a racist.
Probably.
Probably. So I think this kid might be a racist. I need to just put it out there.
God.
But it's so... What it does with pop culture is it just uses it as eye candy too. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have any regard for the content of it or what it represents. It's just oh my god, it's Nickel Control Anaconda.
And I think that was
Iron Giant. Oh my god, the Power Rangers in there?
And I don't think so. And because he's very picky with that license. But
okay,
I think we all knew that going into this, but
Yeah.
really it was the fucking characters that just man, this is insufferable.
When people just name drop popular things.
Again, I knew walking in expecting that.
Yeah, except it's worse when you visually
there were moments
see
I
it.
think for real that I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I can't think of them right now. But yeah.
He just names John Hughes movies.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was pretty
bad.
bad.
I was also that guy though, so you know.
Well, that's not that bad for now. This is
because we grow out of it eventually.
This
but
is
this movie's
This movie's never gonna grow out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
because I've found myself questioning my hatred of this movie, like, not a lot, but, because when I watch movies like Spiderverse or Lego 2, and they have, like, references to stuff, I laugh at it and I enjoy it, and I'm like, well, why did I hate it in Ready Player One and not in these movies? But it's like, it felt empty in Ready Player One, and it felt, I don't know, there was other stuff going on in these other movies that do it.
It's trying to sell you nostalgia.
Yeah,
because
Ready Player One like doesn't have anything else going for it.
It's really
when like any movie makes any sort of reference, it feels like the idea is to make it feel natural. Like, oh, we're just talking about this thing that everyone knows about. Like, if someone mentions Star Wars in, like, a fucking movie, it's like, oh, because Star Wars is the thing that affects a lot of people.
And it was like, oh, guys, you like Star Wars too?
No fucking way! You've heard of Star Wars?
Oh my god, you've seen Back to the Future? Don't you love how the car goes into the past? Ready Player One on DVD and Blu-ray.
Okay, so, all right.
It's nothing, and it's
Yeah,
boring.
All right. So, Ryan, here's the thing. I think this is going to come down to...
boy,
I know
most.
Mute is bad, and I know you dislike Assassination Nation,
but
I have a hard time now seeing a list without Jurassic... Well, I guess Slenderman. Actually, maybe. No, this is hard now, actually. This is a murderer's row of bad movies, actually.
All right, where do you want
Finally, the real cream rises to the top.
Where do you want me to start, George? Where do you want me to start?
I don't know.
What are you feeling, Carrie?
Mute's is really disappointing because
Mute?
Duncan Jones...
Yeah, that is.
You know he can do better because he made
I'm like,
Moon,
all right,
which
Warcraft,
is a fantastic
I get
film.
it. Listen, no one had to get high expectations for that movie, but Moon was good, and he's still good. And then
this movie is a sequel to Moon. Basically.
Yes, that's the other thing that makes it worse. Like,
I liked the Moon joke.
The Moon jokes were always great. It's like I'm him. No, I'm him. But it was just like he'd look up at a screen and be like, "Oh, that's funny." Yeah, anyways, let me get back to my It's just a basic power fantasy where a dude's girlfriend gets kidnapped and he has to save her. Like, that's all it is.
Except it looks really cool. Right?
No, it doesn't.
It's like world building in such a dumb way because it never feels like a convincing place because it's just trying to drive home how difficult it is for him as a mute man in this future world, but it just sets up scenarios that don't make any sense because there's all these machines that he runs into that are strictly voice activated, so he's like, oh, well, duh, I can't use this, but it's like that wouldn't ever be like he's in a fucking library and there's a card machine, like to look up a book he has to speak into this. It's like it's a library. So it just tries to force this.
It's like, what if Amazon Echoes went too far?
Tries to force this lonely feeling in this world, and it's like it just doesn't. I don't know. It didn't. That bothers me,
especially
way
since
more
like
than it
we
probably
saw
should.
this like so like after The Shape of Water, which like which plays with like a mute character, so like genuine and well, and this guy is just like. He just writes down what he's trying to say to people. Like, there's no, like, when he wants to communicate something, he just writes it down and shows it to him. There's no, like...
There's no flair, guy.
There's no, like, sense of, like true, like, disability. Because, like, he just...
It doesn't feel like this...
It doesn't feel like
a
any
weird
thought
nitpick, but it doesn't feel like this actor is fully immersed in this.
Exactly.
Role.
Or it feels more like the character that they've been given is not really fleshed out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And like he's all old timey because he was born Amish, so he has basically like one of our phones, and not a fancy future phone.
Oh, that's true.
And then at the end, he just gets the ability to speak.
He's just like a mute grandpa who doesn't want to adapt to the future
Basically,
world.
yeah.
And then there's bad Paul Rudd, right?
Paul Rudd's bad, but his friend, I would say, is worse.
Okay.
His friend,
I always think it's Paul Rudd is the pedophile, but it's...
No, it's Paul Rudd's friend.
It's the Paul Rudd reaction that always gets me.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even want to talk... Like, the whole, like... Because that whole, like, subplot of, like, his friend is, like, taking pictures of, like... Because he's a doctor, yeah. He's a doctor, and he's taking pictures of girls in like vulnerable situations, like
They're like doing physical therapy or something. Right?
He has like a workshop. I think he makes like amputee
Yeah.
limbs, like future ones that are like fancy. So he has like cameras in his office where it's like, oh, they're just for because I'm a doctor and not because I look at children, and you know, and it's like, okay. And then Paul Rudd like just like, dude, it's just stop it. And he's like, okay, and that's it. That's it. That's
now,
the whole.
Let's go get some beers and let's go bowling.
Exactly. It's such a like why like what does that like plot like what does that do for the movie really besides be weird? How does that drive
Besides,
anything forward?
Make it justified that guy gets killed at the end, I guess.
But he's just an asshole anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but it makes it more impactful since Paul Rudd's dead that his daughter won't have to live with the literal pedophile.
Oh yeah, what a how great.
Yay!
But it's so set up where it's like I feel it just makes you feel dirty no matter what, you know, because it's such a set up thing. Because Paul Rudd is so like, don't you dare be a pedophile around my daughter, my best and only friend. Maybe I should stop being your friend because you are, again, and I cannot reference this enough, you are a pedophile.
But they go way back, Ryan.
I don't care. Look, no, like there is no amount that I could like know or trust a person, or like if I found that about them, I'm like, we got beers that one time, so it was cool. No,
we talked about Mother at that party once.
Yeah, exactly. We're all good.
So we've referenced Slenderman and Assassination Nation in these previous discussions, so I don't know if we need to revisit those.
No, but
Slenderman is far, far, far worse than Assassination Nation, in my opinion. But I know Ryan really.
I'm willing to give Ryan the
no.
here.
So how my Letterboxd films of 2018 when Slenderman was last by the sheer gag of it, and then it was Assassination Nation,
okay, so
based on my personal feelings. So honestly, it could go either way. Slenderman, I feel like, is fascinating because it's like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Assassination Nation knows exactly what it's doing, and it feels like it's being bold and wonderful and great, but it's actually the worst.
Well, should we get rid of Mute, or do we want to keep Mute?
Oh my god.
Is that like your bottom three, Ryan?
That is actually my bottom three. So, honestly, like...
Which one would you cut, just for starters?
Mute, Ready Player One, Slenderman. Man, I almost want to keep Ready Player One because out of all these movies, that's the one I know people are going to ask me about in the future. Like, Ryan, you ever see Ready Player One? It's like, oh.
We're definitely keeping Ready Player One.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite
Oh,
movie
thank God.
Okay, and I think... I think Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom needs to be on this list, and I think it might fucking win, but
so
I know I'm the only person who feels that way.
So you both have your ones, so I have to decide on mine.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, you're crowding this category, Ryan.
Oh, man. I hate it all. I deeply hate those three movies. Like, I also really hate Ready Player One.
From your arguments, I feel like Assassination should be on this list.
Yeah.
Just because the obnoxiousness of it thinking it's a woke king movie.
Yeah.
Really bothers me. But it does seem stylish, so we'll say that.
It does have scenes that have style. But as I've said before, that gets removed. We're like, this is so fucking great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if Duncan Jones just like popped out and was like, yo, those neon lights in Mute? Mwah. And then it just went down and the movie kept going.
Like, he has a scene like in fucking Emperor's New Clothes or Emperor's New Groove where he just takes down the marker and he's like, see, look at that, isn't that cool?
Oh man, I can't make this. I honestly cannot make this decision.
Okay,
I genuinely cannot make this decision. Guys, do what you will, okay? I cannot choose between these three. I genuinely can't.
Slenderman, it's weird that to even have... I don't even know.
Slenderman is like...
Why is it even here? Why does it even exist?
Slenderman is like this year's The Snowman. Just because it's got man in the title. But it's also like, this movie's not finished. Why am I watching this? This is bad. And everything's gray and nothing makes sense.
If we're to go, like, okay, if Ryan's, like, just, like, giving us...
if we're comparing Slenderman and Snowman, generally, I think Slenderman is a more like you can follow the plot of it. I feel Snowman. Like I watched that with
Snowman's fascinating.
Slenderman is so confusing though.
It
when
is
it gets to the part where it's like we've been talking to a girl in a mental asylum. It was our friend, or was it? I still don't know.
I like how this has become me defending the Snowman. The Snowman is more interesting in a movie because it actually is that, and like the Slenderman seems like ineptitude.
Yeah, that's true. Slenderman just seems like
I guess we gotta dub him. I don't know. I guess if Ryan's gonna just back out on his question,
I can't decide.
I think Slenderman is the definition of a terrible fucking movie. Deserves to be on this list more than Mute in Assassination Nation.
I really hate Assassination Nation, but for the sake of the podcast, I will cut.
I was willing to give it to you, but you backed out.
I can't choose. Like you're asking me to be in a room with these 3 movies and one gun and be like, you have to kill one.
Fucking sucks.
It does suck. It's objectively bad, but I will watch that over Assassination Nation.
Okay, that's fair. It doesn't make you angry.
It doesn't make me angry. It doesn't like fill me with anger. I don't want to find the directors like, what? You're fucking. Like,
hey, fuck you.
Like I would like hit him. I just like, fuck you.
I will.
But like, if I sat down with the director of Slenderman, I'd be like, dude, just like, you gotta tell me everything.
Yeah, I want to see the uncut version of Slenderman.
Oh my god, I would pay top fucking dollar.
So, what wins?
Between Ready Player One, Slenderman, and
Jurassic
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Oh, man. I feel
It's tough.
I feel like from what we've said about Slenderman, it might have to go for that. But also, I would really enjoy giving it to Ready Player One.
I would too, but also that's why I kind of know I don't want to be so indulgent.
I'd love to be that guy.
Okay.
That was like one of the first movies we saw this year.
It was.
That's
It was
crazy.
March.
I can't believe it started off so bad.
It did start off very bad this year or last year.
But those bingo cards, that was a good choice.
That was
That
made
was
it
fun.
I don't know if I could have finished that.
No,
That was bingo cards.
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
yeah. That's a good.
It made it a lot of fun. I can't believe you got the Shining. Like, did you genuinely think there'd be a Shining thing?
Because there's the Shining, because we saw fucking Angry Birds, and there's the Shining jokes in all kinds of movies. Like, it's just so
That's
easy.
They
to
own
throw
the
out.
rights.
Yeah, and
That's
be like,
true.
Here's Johnny, or like have the twins sitting there. Like, it just happens all the time. So I was like, there's gotta be a The Shining thing. So one of my squares was like, any The Shining reference, including Room 217, or the twins, or Here's Johnny. And then
Just
I
a
was like,
whole creative
And
from
it's-
scribbling it so
God.
hard.
And that was an entire like sequence in
like
the
10
movie.
minute scene. And I was like,
I
oh.
remember like I was sitting next to you and you were just like, I don't think you blinked at all. You were just like, you were so like, it's like because that's your favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
So that's like
So I feel like
it
an
was like-
asshole being like, hey, you can't take my movie and put it in a stupid movie. You're ruining it. But it's just bad.
It is just bad because it takes like the things about The Shining that are cool and just like, what is it doing?
And I mean, it's a cool technical marvel, and it's fun to see it, I guess. But I hate it when people are like, oh, that The Shining scene, that looked so cool. That was so awesome. And I was like, obviously it looked good. It was The Shining.
I also hated in that scene all the people freaking out. Cause like those scenes, cause that movie to me isn't like a jump up and like scream movie like how modern horror films are, like jump scary. That's a very like slow, methodical kind of movie. But in that sequence, it was like
Yeah,
and it's like,
big
oh my God.
zombie lady, and then they go into a zombie dance floor. And
Yeah.
Because Ready Player One doesn't have enough attention span to not do that.
If you guys feel that Ready Player One, I will back out.
Listen, I haven't.
Do you
I
wanna give-
haven't. I haven't
think
seen
Jurassic World-
Jurassic World, but I would fully believe
I think it's
that
fucking
it's one of the
terrible.
worst movies
I think it's
of the year.
fucking-
It made top 3, so like I
But I'm
agree.
also, if it's top 3, I'm fine with that. Like, it's just like I think it'd be very too on brand for us to give it to Ready Player One. But if that's the way the room feels,
Guys, let's just bring Assassination Nation back into the picture, okay? Come on.
I don't know.
We'll just give it a Slenderman. Since we can't decide.
No, I think we can all. We've all. Let's go Ready Player One. I feel good. We've all seen it. We can all
We
agree
all
it's
hate
fucking
it for
bad.
our personal reasons.
Yes.
I hate it because
We all had a moment in that movie that made us want to kill ourselves.
That is
that is very true.
That is very true.
Okay, so let's all go. Like, what was the? So, Kara, your worst sequence was definitely the shining part, right?
Yeah.
George, what would you say?
I can't remember it off the time, but there's a moment where like it's supposed to be a really romantic fucking dumb thing between them, and then like there's a song that comes on that I was like, I can't be here. This is too much, and I can't remember it off the top of my head.
But it wasn't a lot of 80s movies, I bet.
Yeah.
For me, it's difficult. I want to really say when like he's the big hero and then he pans over to his girlfriend and she gets the eye disfigurement pigmentation
on her avatar.
On her avatar. I think I was literally like, are you fucking kidding me? Nothing happened to her character. Why? What does it mean? I know she's grossly hideous in real life, but why? Also, that reveal is stupid. She lived across the street from him.
Oh my fucking...
All of his friends lived across the street from him. Are you absolutely
God,
shitting
this movie's
me?
so bad.
All right, Ready Player One, you're the winner.
God, we need to just do... We need to have a get together where we just shit on Ready Player One.
Oh my God.
I need to rewatch it so I can remember why I disliked it.
God.
Our friend Zach probably loves
It's
that
just
movie.
the-
Let's be real.
Anyways. Ready Player One, you're the worst movie of 2018.
Yay!
Slenderman, Jurassic World, also bad movies.
Bad.
Positive scene. Positive moment. Standout moment of 2018 is the next category. I'll read them out. Or we have Annihilation, Final Showdown. I guess the bear scene is not going to make it to the cut. It's a bit. The bear part was pretty good.
Bear part is amazing.
Hereditary, Heads Will Roll, the dinner scene. Cameron Post, The Final Breakfast, and Prom. Cam, Cold Open. Sorry to Bother You, Horse Stick, spoilers. A Star is Born, Shallow. Mandy, Cheddar Goblin, / long ass drawn out scene where Mandy and that cult leader meet. Aquaman, the whole thing. Into the Spiderverse, Intro to Miles. Christopher Robin, Did You Let Me Go? Suspiria, Dance Off. Tomb Raider, Bike Race.
Mwah.
Unsane, Matt Damon cameo.
Hell yeah.
Border, one of the top 10 weirdest sex scenes I've ever witnessed. Infinity War, Thor rips shit in The Snap. Fuck The Snap. Paddington 2, oh my god, here's a weirdo. Aunt Lucy arrives. Madeline's monologue about her mother / ending dance sequence. 8th grade, campfire speech. Searching, Daddy John Cho starts a live video.
I don't think we've ever gotten George to say Daddy John Cho.
No,
I'm
I
very
haven't. That's the
happy.
first one.
I'm very happy it happened.
And Midnight Man, little boy explodes in the last 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes.
Good moment.
How do we start?
Yeah, how do we go?
You know what? I've talked about the bike race a
Yeah,
lot.
I'll
cut it.
We
Like,
need to,
it's
we
a
need to just get to the
great
point
start.
here. I don't know what Unsane Matt Damon cameo is, but
Matt Damon cameos and Unsane.
He's like, I don't even remember what he
He
does.
plays a cop.
Yeah.
When she escapes the thing, he's like, "It's me, Matt Damon." I'm finally thinking
I
good.
remember when I was watching it, I was like, is that?
I knew going in he was showing up, and even when he did, I was like, "Oh my god!"
I had no idea. I was dumbfounded.
It's so amazing.
That's so funny. Yeah.
oh man, and now fuck, we're like at what's this Midnight Man bit actually?
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Well, the first 5 minutes of the movie is, if we all remember, the Midnight Man is this year's The Bye Bye
Right.
Man. And it's basically this game where you set up and there's all these specific rules that you have to follow. And if you don't follow the rules, the Midnight Man comes and gets you and shows you your worst fear. And in the cold open of the movie is all these kids playing the game in this house. And they're inside this salt circle, and then the salt circle gets destroyed, and they have to. The one boy's like, "We gotta leave," and the girl's like, "No, we can't leave the house," and he runs out, and he's on the sidewalk up to the door, and then this entity forms in front of him, and he just fucking explodes. Like, it cuts to the little girl, she's like, no! And then it cuts back, and there's just blood splatter all over the ground, and then there's little giblets of him falling from the sky. And that's the first 5 minutes of this movie, and I was like, holy shit! This is the best movie I've ever.
It's a bold way to start a movie that never really tops that,
yeah, definitely not. But imagine me watching this at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I think I was taking a bath watching this, and I'm just like, and I thought it was just gonna be like stupid. Well, it was stupid, but I thought it was gonna be like boring stupid. And then the best thing I've ever seen happens, and I'm just trying to contain my reaction in my house at 3 p.m. Oh my god.
So is it a contender? It sounds like a contender.
I don't think so, but it's so fucking funny.
With that, I think Aquaman, I would agree that the whole thing is probably one of the best moments of 2018.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's too good. Like, it
there's
wouldn't be fair.
so much to talk
It
about.
wouldn't be fair. So we're taking that off.
That's fair enough.
So before we had these conversations last time we before the break, we mentioned that "Shallow" the best part is the song. Does that mean that it's A Star Is Born? Sorry. Does that mean anything against it on this list? It's a great song.
It is a great song, but like as time has gone on from that movie, like I love Lady Gaga's performance. The song is great, but the movie doesn't have like this long-lasting resonance. I feel it just doesn't feel like something that I could go back to and be like, oh yeah, this was fantastic. Like it's a great first watch, but over time I'm just like, it's pretty good.
I still really like it. I feel like it's very like front heavy, like the first part of it. Like I mean, as in like the first part of it's really good, and then it kind of just as it goes on, it's like, it's still going. It's like when you know how it's gonna end, you're just like,
do it.
Get on with it.
Do it. Do it, Bradley. Get it over with.
But so it does kind of drag a bit, the movie. But if we're just talking about the moment, "Shallow," if we're talking about, are we talking about the song or are we talking about the scene?
I assumed it was when they perform it.
Yeah. So when they first perform the song, it's
really
the first moment that Lady Gaga's character actually goes on stage and performs for people, because Jackson Maine like sends his escort after her to like bring her to the concert, and she shows up and she's like standing off stage, and it's one of those scenes where he sees her and he's like, my friend wrote a song, I'm gonna bring her on stage and she's gonna sing her song. I think the song's really good. And she's like, no, I'm not.
Get her done.
I'm not gonna sing this song. And he's like, well, I'm gonna perform it anyway. You gotta sing it. So then he starts singing it, and then
she's like, oh my god, I'm not gonna sing. No, I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna sing.
Yeah. So it's one of those scenes. It's something you've seen before, but I really like it.
It is. It can only work because it has her.
True.
And
or maybe it can only stand out because it's her.
True. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's gone.
Goodbye.
Bye. Since George commented on Infinity War, the snap.
Yeah.
I feel like I added that just because that is what people talked about. And
well, fuck people.
I
people
know,
are not in
true.
this podcast.
That's true. There's no person on this podcast.
Exactly.
Just a bunch of deep fakes with voices.
It's in the moment it was very good. But now like it's been memed to fuck. It's like
it's memed a lot, and also I think everyone has like understood like it's all gonna be reversed.
And also like for me like I got worked. Like I tell you, oh shit, like these characters are dead for a split second, and then I remembered like, wait a minute.
Oh, there's a sequel next.
There's a sequel next year. I completely forgot at that moment. And
it's so convenient that all the original Avengers are still
the ones left.
Again, I didn't think about that at the moment. So does that mean it's not gonna be here?
The snap part, definitely not. When Thor rips shit though, that is great, because again, Thor is a character in the Marvel films who has gone from like being the most like
most ho-hum
to like like.
And all they needed was Taika Waititi.
All they needed. Like, he did slowly get better over time. I think they definitely, like, didn't know what to do with him in the first Thor movie, which I like the first Thor movie.
I think it's fine.
I think it's...
But after that, they clearly had no idea.
I don't know if I've seen it. it, and if I have seen it, it's been years. But
For like those like early Marvel movies, I think it's solid. It definitely feels like an early Marvel movie.
it's directed by Kenneth Branagh,
It
so I
is
support
directed
that.
by
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh.
And then the other one, The Dark World, like
They
has funny moments, but it's such a like
I think if
serious film.
it clearly didn't know what direction to take the series,
Mm-hmm.
like because it's easy to make a setup movie, right? Like if you have the pitch, you can do some fun stuff with that. But after that, they're like, I don't fucking know. And then it took someone like Taika Waititi who like, I actually have a vision for this.
Yeah.
This is what I
Yeah.
wanted to be. Like, oh yeah, cool. We didn't have any ideas to do with it. So good.
This
That's great.
feels like Taika Waititi. It feels like it should have been one of the movies that got taken away, but this is we actually get.
And
to
it's sort of a
see.
bummer that he wasn't there from the start.
Yeah.
So like
Oh,
actually
yeah.
make more of these. Like,
Oh
you
my
know.
god, could you imagine a full
There
like
would've been a lot-
trilogy?
I think Chris Hemsworth might have been a lot more on top as an actor.
Oh man, it would have been great.
Not playing Hulk Hogan in a fucking. Oh boy.
That's good. That movie's not gonna come out.
Oh my god!
Let me tell you about
waiting.
Eric Bischoff. That movie's coming out. One way or another, brother.
Brother.
Brother, that movie's coming out, brother.
I think
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you. I don't know anything
Thor-
about black studies, but you talk about my daughter. Oh, brother.
Thor rips shit. All right.
I still don't know which part you're talking about.
When he gets his
When they're
hammer,
in
and then he
Wakanda.
finally comes down,
That was cool, yeah.
and he just destroys the
It was
army
nice to
of-
see that moment for that character. I
Yes.
agree. Like you said, he was sort of like, and now he's like fucking over
like,
as the top.
Because like he had like that moment in at Ragnarok where like he really gained control of himself, and then just immediately he loses that like instantly because he like runs into Thanos like on his way back home, which is like he's been through so much.
Yeah.
Give him a break. He's such a nice man.
He's so nice.
You're supposed to have a good time. Get some drinks with the boys.
I think he's definitely my favorite character who has an arc in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the one who has the most arc. But also, it's
And
also
so-
just
and
an
also,
action
like,
scene in a Marvel movie.
When he comes back, it also just like feels like revenge because like he's pissed of like what happened,
Sure,
and I feel like he's
but also,
out of all those characters, he has the one reason to like
sure.
truly want to.
But
kill
that moment
Thanos.
felt very much like the beginning of Alien 3, where Ridley's already on the planet, and like all the characters from Alien 2 that survived with her, they're all dead. Like all these characters that you liked
Yeah.
from the last movie, they're all dead. They're all gone. Don't worry about it. I was like,
no,
fucking-
this definitely isn't gonna be like top 3, but like
You want to
this-
recognize it?
It's the best scene in the movie, I believe.
Well, we're adding Marvel. I'm going to add and take off. What's it called? The scene in Black Panther when they play X. That's a good ass song, and it was a good action scene. That's it.
But it's off the list.
Yep, it wasn't even on it. So okay, so the list as it stands now, it's still fucking huge. Annihilation, Final Showdown, Hereditary, Heads Will Roll, the dinner scene. Those are two different scenes. Cameron Post, The Final Breakfast, and Prom. Cam, Cold Open, Sorry to Bother You, Horse Stick, Mandy, Cheddar Goblin, long ass drawn out scene where they meet. Into the Spiderverse, Intro to Miles, Christopher Robin, Did You Let Me Go, Suspiria Dance Off, Border, one of the top 10 weirdest sex scenes I've ever witnessed, Paddington 2, Oh My God, He's a Weirdo, and Aunt Lucy Arrives, Madeline's Madeline, the monologue about her mother, Ending Dance Sequence, 8th Grade, Campfire Speech, and Searching, Daddy John Show starts a live video.
It's even better the second time.
All right.
So Daddy
Tackle. Oh,
Daddy
Daddy-
John
Yeah.
Show probably doesn't stay.
It's a very
but
good one.
So funny.
it's such.
I wish it
a
would have.
funny
It's also
scene.
probably
It's
a better
also
moment in a
play-
movie theater. I just saw it by myself. And
It's
that's-
also such a serious
Yes.
scene. But like the way he just like has that cold like I haven't slept in 8 days. My
He's
daughter is
just live on
missing.
you now.
He's just like someone joins in and then they leave
Yeah.
immediately. Oh my god. I will see this movie as like show me like I will see anything with John Cho.
And also,
He
Searching
is great.
Searching is a movie of moments. It has a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of
it has
twists
a
and
lot of great-
curveballs.
It's a very Gone Girl ass movie, I would say.
In terms of like what the fuck is happening, but
Yeah,
not in
exactly.
tone, I think.
Not in
No.
tone, no. In terms of like, oh,
Yeah.
you're delivering a lot of twists that also feel genuine with what's going on, and not for the sake of like it's a
Yeah.
twist.
It's a good movie.
It's a very good movie.
It's a good movie.
Man, where do we go from here?
All right, I get the like. Did You Let Me Go was very sad and a very
Oh,
nice
yeah.
moment, but I don't think it hangs.
Well, no. That's
Great
just,
movie.
That's just Christopher Robin is a movie that I did not expect to go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
and then when
same.
you're watching it, and that's just like, I don't know. I've watched it several more times since then, and I still really love it, but it's very like, formulaic.
It's a
Totally.
Business dad doesn't like his children, blah blah
But
blah.
it works in. I think
Kenobi.
again, I think that movie worked because for me, I've mentioned it, and it's unfortunate that this movie's probably not gonna get a lot of play in their categories here.
Yeah.
Well, we have most surprising, but maybe
Yeah,
then.
that's yeah.
For me, I think it worked well because I, as a person, used to love Winnie the Pooh, and I still do, but I totally forgot how much I like Winnie the Pooh. And also, like in real world, that last movie fucking bombed, and it was like, well, Winnie the Pooh's done forever. So this movie felt like we're not gonna make more Winnie the Pooh movies. Like we're making live action stuff. While we're at it, let's give Winnie the Pooh an actual fucking definitive end.
Yeah.
Which is not going to be,
Let's
but it
finally
felt like
kill
it.
him.
Pull the trigger, Piglet.
So that's why it worked for me, but it is
Yeah.
very cliche, and I don't like
But,
the ending. But
I think did we even set up what the moment is? It's what he's like in the 100-acre wood,
Right.
and they're lost, and Pooh is asking Christopher Robin all kinds of questions
Right.
about his job and what he has to do with his important papers and everything. And he's explaining to Pooh that he has to do all this work this weekend because he has to let people go. And then
Right.
and then Pooh's like, "What does that mean?" And like, well, if people aren't doing their job, or if you need to have more important things that you have to go. And then Pooh's just like, "Did you let me go?" And it's like, oh my god, you, Christopher Robin, you asshole! You turn around and you apologize to that bear. You apologize to that bear right now, man. But yeah, no, it doesn't hang. But that movie that moment specifically in that movie just like kicked me in the face, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was that movie had so many lines that were just like it either brought you like complete joy or like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like it was either one or the other. It just killed me.
Such a good movie.
Very good.
it's a good movie. All right. So, no, I think it's too early to just say that. No, fuck it. I'm already saying. There is not a chance in hell the final showdown from Annihilation is not going to be on this top 3.
Yeah.
There is not a reality.
Okay,
There's
fine.
not a place. So,
Well, let's just talk about.
I was like, what?
Let's just talk about horse dick for 1 second, George.
I was like, what? Which of these things is George coming in with this energy?
no, yeah,
for?
there is not.
There's no way in hell that
I can.
Paddington.
You know what? You know what? Actually, if I wanted to make it tough, I would say there's 2 moments from this list. Not a chance in hell, and we are looking for a third.
Oh wow, I'm interested.
Hereditary has a role. I think
Yeah.
those 2 moments are hard to walk away from.
Yeah.
So you want to delete the dinner scene?
I just wanted to
It's
talk about
Toni Collette does a great. It's a
because
great.
Toni Collette, and
She kills it.
She didn't get enough awards recognition. Okay, she got a few, but she didn't get any. She didn't get any Oscars, and I'm still mad.
It was a great moment. It's a great
It's
scene.
so fucking good. Like that scene just sells the entire movie. Like her fucking manically yelling, oh, just the way her head shakes when she's like, no one takes responsibility for what they've done. It's like, oh my fucking god. So good. So good.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
So good.
And that makes it hard. Because again,
So I want to add a Cameron Post scene because
Oh.
I think this movie is great.
It's
I
good.
think it deserves a lot of recognition. Both the final breakfast scene and the prom scene. I don't remember. That was the opening, basically. Is that what you guys are referring to?
No, the prom was sort of middle of the movie.
Oh man, I'm forgetting this now.
So so there are multiple moments where she has memories
She's, like,
of this
flashing back to
relationships
it,
and
yeah.
But then there's
But
the moment where they get caught is like towards the middle of the movie.
Oh, it is.
Yes, it
oh,
is.
I thought it was at the beginning.
No,
Okay.
it's towards the middle of the
I don't
movie.
remember.
And it's at the point where you hang out with this character and you got to know them more and you got to know what this relationship sort of was to her. And you linger on it for so long that it was a moment where like I 100% sympathize. Like, this is a fucking nightmare.
Yes.
I'm a straight guy, but if I understand like just what's happening and the way this all unfolds, and not only that, you find out later that the other girl's like, I'm cleaning my hands off this. It's fucking devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that. I felt because as someone who could never be in this situation, I feel like this movie does a good job of just showcasing how like real and like heartbreaking that shit can be
Yeah.
in like the best way you could without, you know, actually experiencing that. That's why I like really dig on this movie.
Right. There's like no like anything said. It's just like
No.
this shit happens.
Shit happens and it's like, well, this sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is like so like real and genuine. So yeah, that prom scene, I'm remembering it more now. Like the dude just opens the car door and it's just like, oh well, I guess this is out in the open now and things suck.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
And like the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
It's like the worst case.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna mention something else? It sounded like you were gonna
I would
mention
also
something else.
say like the final breakfast is also great.
It's very good.
Just because I was reading different takes on this of like what like this scene means or like what it means for the characters, and I've heard conflicting things about for that camp counselor guy whether or not like he knows what they're about to do, because like he was like converted, you know.
Yeah.
Quotations converted, you know. By his sister, yeah. So I've heard like different takes as like whether or not like he knows what they're doing, and that's why he's not like getting in on this.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Have a good hike.
Yeah. See you for dinner.
Well, yeah. I think that was obvious.
And I
for
think
me.
I don't know. Because he's a very like I don't want to say
Simpleton.
Yeah, I feel like that, but yeah. So it's hard to really know. That's another reason I want to really watch it. But yeah, that movie had a lot of great scenes. I think those are two very standout moments. And I feel like it just needs more appreciation. So I wanted to add some to this list.
It's a good movie.
It's a great film.
Does that mean we're cutting it though?
I think there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So yeah, we can cut that from the list.
Okay. Let's see here.
Gary, explain what are the top 10 weirdest sex scenes
You
you've
mentioned
ever
it
seen.
earlier.
I can't explain it, but I just wanted to shout because I don't want to spoil it for you
Oh,
guys.
okay.
Because
I will definitely
I
watch
have
this
an
movie.
illegal copy,
It's
so
so
I mean legal.
Very
legal.
very legal, very cool copy of the movie.
Like, I don't want to overhype this movie because I feel like I overhyped myself for it, but I still ended up loving it. But it was very close to me being like, but it sold me near the end when stuff is revealed about these characters, and I just really liked it because it plays into my own personal tastes. It's just a fucking weirdness, and I just wanted to say that if you're interested in very, very outlandish sex scenes, Porter has one, and it's great.
All right.
And seeing it in a theater with other people was wild.
That's how I felt during the first, like, when I saw The Favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but it seemed to
That
be...
wasn't even that bad, yeah.
But, like, when I saw The Favorite and the first, like, I'll just say scene happens, I don't know, it was like when I saw Tomb Raider, it was like, oh, all the grandmas are going to see a movie today, and all the grandmas saw The Favorite that day. I remember hearing like, oh my god.
Carol, they're lesbians.
They're lesbians, Carol, let's get out of here. I'm just going to say this because George is going to fight us on this, but Paddington 2, oh my god, he's a weirdo is one of the funniest jokes of all time. I will say it. It is delivered with such great, like, it's such a twist. Just a twist on, like, the characters. You could feel, like, his brain, like, breaking it. His brain broke. He's like, no, Hugo's a normal guy, very cool, very legal. And he was like, oh my god, he's a weirdo. And, like,
just as
immediately.
The ladder.
It's immediate. It's so perfect. It's timed perfectly. Paddington 2 is
so good.
It's the perfect film, and anyone who doesn't like it might as well be an asshole.
Yeah, I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I felt nothing when Aunt Lucy arrived. I thought it was the most ending to this movie.
It was so...
I wish there was more of her in this. Is there more of her in the first one?
Yeah. Yeah.
She,
I mean,
like he doesn't stay there very long. Like he leaves.
You get a sense of like their relationship.
Yeah, there's much more of him and his aunt and uncle in the forest.
I thought that, yeah.
But another movie I've watched several times, and it just keeps getting better.
I need to watch that again. It's so perfect.
I don't know if this is leading into it cutting it, but you guys can cut it.
No, we can cut it.
Okay.
No, we're gonna cut it just because you're the worst person.
Okay.
I've ever met.
All right.
Ooh, boy.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say my piece on this. I've said it before, and I've said it multiple times. It's not gonna make top 3. The intro to Miles Morales. I've said it like on the beginning of this episode, this part. I think it is just an incredible moment where it just sets the tone. It sets the energy. It sets up this character, and just such it's done so well on a technical level. But just like the sort of vibes and what it tells you about what this movie is going to be and what this character is, it just does it so perfectly in the span of like 2 minutes.
It really shows how like great like a character is in like the filmmaking process. If you can like perfectly introduce a character and show everything that they're about in like one small sequence.
Yes.
Like that is fantastic. Like just filmmaking and writing. And especially in like a weird ass movie like that, having that kind of great scene is wonderful, and it really shows like the kind of care that was put into that film. But I think George is cutting it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. It's not gonna make it.
Okay.
It's a great scene.
We've given a lot of shout outs to Spiderverse, so.
Especially that scene. At least I have, so I'm fine with it cutting. Let's see here.
Madeline's Madeline. I love these scenes that we have. Madeline's monologue about her mother, and that ending dance scene. Those are really great. So good. But I don't see them staying.
They don't hang, but it's just I think we'll get more into this movie when we talk about performances.
Oh yeah, because that's what like, this movie is.
But this sequence is her. It's Madeline and her acting troupe, and this entire movie. You get this vibe that she feels like caged in almost by her mom, and she feels like her mom just questions her and sees her as this unstable person, and you get a sense of it, but you're viewing it through Madeline's eyes, and her perspective on stuff is obtuse and hard to grasp sometimes, so you don't really get the full scope. But in this final sequence, they're doing this exercise, and she sees this acting troupe as like an escape from her mother almost. So then when they start molding the story around her and her life, it becomes overwhelming to her. And at this end sequence, they're like, well, let's bring in your mother. She's the driving force on it. And they're like all doing this acting exercise where they have to mimic what the mom is doing. And then, they have to do. I don't really remember the setup for. They're like other actors. They're like doing monologues about it.
Yeah, they're like mimicking her and trying to get like in her shoes.
Yeah.
For me, like what started that scene is like you can really tell that like it's all about that director really trying to like bring out stuff in Madeline.
Yeah.
And like you can really tell like every time like. Especially like in that sequence where like she just doesn't feel comfortable having her mom there because that is like, that's her safe space.
Yeah, her mom is invading her space.
And like that's a totally natural thing, especially like for like a kid too. And so like when her teacher like pokes at the fucking bear and just makes her let all this out that she
it's like
she knows that it's not like how she really feels. It's just like all this pent up anger coming out like incorrectly and like loose and just like rapid and wild.
Yeah, but basically the scene is that Madeline is monologuing as her mother, and she's just saying all of these things that her mother has said to her, and it's all this really harsh stuff and all this verbal abuse, and she's like, oh my good, and she just gets super into it, and it's just heartbreaking, and it's very, very good. And this scene pretty much, without missing very many beats, goes into the final like dance sequence where they like toss the director out and they do basically this
interpretive
dance. It's like one of those music videos where they have people set up all over the place and you have to get it in one take. So it's like the camera is the director going through this house and they have all these different props set up and they're just like bombarding her with noise and action and just like showing her what she's been putting people through, and then they just take her outside and they're all dancing in the street. It's so fucking good.
It's wild and crazy and great. That movie is phenomenal, and that sequence, that moment where like she's doing that monologue as her mom is like, it's so awkward and painful because I can like feel like moments in my life where like I've been around people who like stuff, they like let out too much, you know, and it's like you can feel like the tension in the air.
Yes.
And it's like, oh boy, this is uncomfortable for everyone, but like I cannot imagine how it feels for you. It's it's really good.
I want to watch this movie again.
It's also on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos. You think Jeff Bezos has seen Madeline's Madeline?
No.
You think he's seen Demon House?
Yes.
Yes.
And he was like, oh my god.
Oh my god. I can't watch that movie. You'll make me haunted.
Oh my god, maybe that's why.
Oh my god.
So the horse dick scene in Sorry to Bother You, it is a wild scene, but it's also more than just the horse dick stuff. Like that stuff is wild, but it's also good because that's the part where like the whole thing connects. Like it explains like all of this fucking weird shit that you've been seeing in the background of this company and what the hell, like how does that fit in here?
It's not just world building.
Yeah.
It's
the
like
story. It's the whole what
Yeah.
the movie's about. And it is a wild scene because there's so much that's happening and it's so over the top. Then also it explains like, oh, this is what the movie's about. Here's where it's going. Here's what the horse dick people symbolizes. It's a fucking bananas wild scene. And Sorry to Bother You is a fantastic fucking movie.
Very good.
It does not hang
I don't
well.
think it hangs, unfortunately. And it's crazy for me to say that, but when I'm looking at this, I think...
I'm looking at this list now, and I think it has, like, I love all of these themes a lot. Annihilation, The Final Showdown, Hereditary, Heads Will Roll, Cam, Cold Open, Mandy, Cheddar Goblin / the Lord-ass drawn-out scene, Suspiria, Dance-Off, and 8th Grade, The Campfire Speech. Those are, like, that's difficult. I believe there's my, how are you guys feeling about that?
It is difficult. Okay, can we say what are our three around here?
What my three would be? I would say my three, if I choose, would be the dance-off in Suspiria. The Final Showdown in Annihilation. And honestly, the cold open in Cam.
I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually rewatched that recently. Just the cold open. And I was like, it's still really good. Still really fucking good.
And we mentioned it earlier on the podcast. We're at there. Yeah.
It's the perfect, like, introduction to not only, like, this world that like not a lot of people like get, and also like the tone
of what the movies. That's very true. I agree with that. It's a good thesis statement for the movie.
I love a good cold open in a horror movie. Like that, like shit. Like if it's done right, it's done really right. And I've seen a lot of like films try to be like capture the cold opens of like an It Follows, you know?
Yes.
And it's like you can't do that.
I love the You're Next cold open, but that's just me. I think that's one of my favorites.
I don't remember that so well.
That's the part where like the older guy is like has that one girl over and she's making a screwdriver, and then the part with like the actually You're Next on with her blood on the glass thing.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so my three would be the Annihilation Final Showdown, Hereditary, Heads Will Roll, and the Dance Off from Suspiria.
Ooh boy.
What are your three, Carrie?
I agree on Annihilation and Hereditary. And my third one would be...
Come on, Carrie. You got this.
I'm trying to see if I should go with my heart or the bit.
I think I know what the bit is. I think I'm going to assume you're caught between the Cheddar Goblin of Mandy and the Campfire Speech of 8th Grade. Okay. That is exactly what I thought. And you know what? two great things to be conflicted on. I've really seen the two sides of Carrie Lyle's here.
Because Cheddar Goblin changed my life.
And the campfire speech was really good.
Campfire speech was alright, but Cheddar Goblin.
Alright, I think we can cut out the loud-ass, drawed-ass scene.
Yeah.
Well, George didn't get to talk about.
What do you
Yeah,
want to say about it,
it's
George?
so my favorite parts of Mandy are the surreal parts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for any of the action apart from the part with that one guy, spiky demon man is watching the pornography and then he's got the shotgun. That part's great. That's my favorite one. But like a lot of the slow, drown out stuff from the beginning, I think at the time I wasn't so invested in him because I wanted, what is the payoff? Like I'm ready for the climax. Let's just go. But now having seen what the payoff was for me personally, and not really jiving for me, I was like, that's the stuff from that movie that I really really liked. Encapsulate like the end for me is like the part where they burn her, which honestly would also be one of my favorite moments from that movie. Like it's really fucking good. But yeah, that moment where they're just staring out at each other and it's just long as hell and like
their
what
faces are morphing together.
Yeah.
And...
for me that's my favorite. Like just like
good stuff.
It's my favorite moment, but it doesn't have to be there.
There's a lot of good stuff going on in Mandy.
It is. I don't like Cheddar Goblin. That's all I'll say. I don't like it.
George, how does it feel to be an asshole? That's all. Because like you hate Paddington, you hate Cheddar Goblin. Do you also hate Jesus? What's wrong with you?
You really think about it.
Oh my god.
Sort of pandering to me. I don't know. So it sounds like the Annihilation Final Showdown is on the list.
I think it's definitely on the list.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
I'm the only one who didn't say Hereditary of you two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that scene a lot. It's just like when I think of those other scenes, I'm like, I like this better,
fair.
personally.
Just as speaking on the Hereditary heads will roll scene, a scene that just like stopped me dead.
Yes,
in my tracks.
I was like,
yes, exactly.
I thought I stopped breathing
that
for a second.
Rarely
It's
happens
yes.
to me. Not to sound like I'm a hard ass, but like holy shit.
It was a moment. It was like, I don't know what to do.
Yes.
I don't know how to deal with this
What?
information.
It just really felt like nobody. What was going on?
I dropped something.
I legitimately like my mind, like everything about me just like escaped from my body.
It's like the ultimate pencil drop kind of scene.
Mm-hmm.
Where just like
what?
everything got quiet. I remember we were watching this at
yeah.
the loudest theater on the planet, the Alamo.
I said this when we initially talked about this film, but my hands did not leave my mouth for at least 10 minutes. For the following 10 minutes, I was just like, I was stupefied. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I don't know what are we doing. I don't know what's happening anymore. Are we done? Like I don't know.
Should I leave or?
Yeah. Like they could have played credits after that. I'd be like, oh, I guess we're done.
That's my money's
All
worth.
right, cool, we're done here.
I saw all I wanted to see.
Yeah, I think when I think of like a singular moment, like in like 20, 30 seconds, that move, it's like, what?
I feel like I read somewhere that Ari Aster started with like that image of Charlie and the head and the telephone pole, and the image of Toni Collette with the piano wire, and those were like the two images that spawned this film.
I thought of two ways to decapitate people.
Yeah.
Like, how could I work backwards from that?
But it's like that.
Okay,
makes
if
sense.
I want to talk about one scene in Hereditary that truly scared me, that piano wire scene. That is that, and honestly, like when she's like above his bed.
Oh my fuck.
That is like pure.
I
like,
need to add 6 more moments
I
here.
mean, it's.
That is one of my favorite shots of like the last 5 years, of when it just opens on his dark room and you're like, what am I looking at? Oh my god, she's in the corner.
Yes.
Like like when you watch it again, it's funny, but in that first, I am such a sucker for shit like that when it's a horror thing and it's just in the corner and no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
And
this
love
movie
that.
has a lot
I love
of
that. And it's so good. It's like,
Because
it's
also like you don't see it a lot.
You don't.
Well, you
yeah.
see it, but it's done so lazily. Like it's like
Sure.
it's
No,
just
in
like the
us,
spooky man
in the
background.
fucking like the nuns is like someone sees the nuns like
Exactly.
"What?" But that's just like you see it and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's something that, like, you could tell someone about it and they didn't notice it, and they'd be like, what? And then they go
back and
then
see it, and they're horrified.
They'd be scared just thinking about something that they didn't see.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's scary. That's why this movie is great. Because it has shit like that.
Ooh. I'm gonna get all hyped talking about Hereditary again, get all revved up.
Yeah.
It's so fucking...
Hereditary won Best Horror, right?
Duh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's good. I honestly forgot.
Followed by POOKA.
Man, that was a decision.
That was a decision. What are we gonna do?
The dance-off in Suspiria is so... Just from the
really
choreography, let alone that we enjoy, like, gore
we
and shit.
We are just talking about the scene where Dakota Johnson. I almost said Dakota Fanning.
I didn't. You didn't even say it, and I heard the hesitation.
Her tryout. It's her tryout.
Her tryout, but then also they lock.
No, it's not her tryout. I think the one that we're thinking of is when they let go of that girl who was dancing the lead part, and she like is walking, and then she gets trapped in the room,
in the mirror room.
You're right. I thought this was
then,
you're right.
And
That's
then
the one.
and she's like, I can do it. And Tilda Swinton's like, I don't think you can. And she's like, no, I watched the VHS all the time. I can do it. And then she dances it, and then as she's dancing it,
she's being thrown against the wall.
It's like she's puppeteering the girl.
It is the
her.
goriest thing, and then it's juxtaposed by like Dakota Johnson has done 3 fucking movies about fucking, and this is the most sexual fucking raw, intense. It feels like a punch every time. It is so goddamn.
I love how George's take on this movie is very different from ours.
It is so good.
It's really good. But like, what I love about like the horror aspect of that scene is like it just is relentless. It's not even like bloody. It's just like. Oh,
how can we like destroy the human body? Like, what if the human body was clay and it like had goo and blood and water? We'd be like, God, did that to it. Yeah. Oh man.
I like.
What if you had some YouTube slime, like those slime videos on YouTube, and just made that a person just flopping around?
Oh my God, Suspiria slime! It's full of bones and fingers.
I will say honorable mention the end of Suspiria also, like the part with
that, like the big sea, the
the
ritual.
It's so good. But I think this one, this is the moment. Yes. But I think this is the moment. I think because that's the one where like, oh yeah, we're gonna go there.
And
we're gonna go there. Yeah.
I don't know this for sure, but I remember when this movie was first like being circulated, like they played a clip from it at festivals, and I'm pretty sure it was that clip just from the descriptions people were giving of it, of a dancer being contorted while she's dancing and her bones breaking, and people were just like, that was the first thing people saw from this movie, and everyone was like, wow, holy shit, I'm upset.
That's true. That is what I would show.
Yeah,
to get hype. That's what I would show. So that was a good play on them. So that leaves us nowhere. The campfire speech in 8th grade is very good. It's not my favorite part from 8th grade.
Very wholesome.
But it's very
sweet.
good.
Yeah.
It would have been better if John Cho said it, to be fair.
I think it's good for me. I feel like the father character, you don't really get. He doesn't seem like an actual kid. I don't know. For me, it was just the dad of the awkward child. But this is a moment where like the dad actually puts everything on the line. It's like, no, you're my daughter, and I fucking love you so goddamn much, and it's very well done.
Yeah. It was just, to me, having such a personal relationship with this film, and then that scene at the end of it being like, it's like the voice being like, no, it's okay. Like you're allowed to be like this. You're allowed. And
it felt honest. It didn't felt like just like a fucking throwaway thing. Like it felt real. It's very good.
Good. I know that campfire speech doesn't hang, but just as a send off on that film, just putting a cap on how I felt experiencing that movie, and then it's just like to have a warm voice being like, you're gonna be all right, Carrie. It's all right. It's okay. Yeah. It was nice. Thank you, Bober.
Yes.
Let's make a hard right and talk about Cheddar Goblin for 1 second.
I know Cheddar Goblin doesn't hang. Okay.
No, I love like. Carrie, were you hyped up Cheddar Goblin?
Also, Cheddar Goblin's
I didn't get it.
Ever present being throughout the movie, so That's
do you
also
mean?
a thing. Like it's all like it's sort of like
Oh,
it's
no,
before
no,
the
no.
actual.
I know what you
The
mean.
macaroni.
Yeah, the macaroni.
Yeah,
It's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow
It is.
Man in Ghostbusters.
It's like Clippy from Microsoft Word.
no, fuck you.
But that,
So you were saying when I hyped him up, you were like, what?
yeah, and then I saw Nicolas Cage walking to the TV after watching his wife
After
get burnt.
cradling the burnt remains of his wife and her
Walking-
skull caving in and
Is
blowing
he,
away.
Is he like half naked too? I feel like he was half naked.
Yeah.
He was like half naked, just like crying, like covered in blood. And he just looks at the TV and it's like, blah, 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 and just like,
Jesus.
it's crazy. Those waveforms were crazy there. On the
That's gonna
podcast.
be
Be
fun
a
to edit.
solid
I'm
green
sorry.
bar.
I'm sorry there. I just had to chill Nick Cage for a second. But man, what a great scene.
Now George just is gonna cut it just because you did that. You're gonna
I'm
make him
sorry.
edit.
Man, that is a solid green bar of waveforms. That's great.
That's some solid Cheddar Goblin green. But yeah, Cheddar Goblin is just amazing, and I love him.
Okay.
But I know he doesn't hang.
All right,
He's
well-
such a good boy.
Oh, Ryan, I hate this. This feels.
No, don't say
This
it.
feels
Don't
like
say it.
it's.
Don't say
Cam
it.
is a good movie.
I can't get it done any top threes, can I? I can't do it. There's nothing I can do. Like, that's fair. Like, that, like, the final show in Annihilation, Heads Will Roll, Dance Off, and the cold open of Cam. Some would say the four greatest
I think if
scenes
I
of all
didn't see
time.
Suspiria, I would say Cam. But
Okay.
I did. And it's very good.
It's fine. We can do it. I completely understand. I just wanted to get Cam on a top three somewhere.
No.
So I'm not going to stop. I'm going to say I'm not going to stop. I'm
Well,
going to keep
It's the most
advocating.
disappointing.
It can come in and best surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Cam existed until I watched
That is
it.
very true, actually.
Until I said you guys
Until
messed-
I was watching Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and then I was like,
And I
I'm
was like,
tired.
ah.
So what wins? This is actually I don't think it's. Actually, no, it's hard. For me,
All
this
right.
is against. This is Annihilation versus Hereditary. I don't think that's the first time this will happen. Also,
When I rewatched the final show in Annihilation, like it is honestly so like thought provoking and like terrifying. The electronic like sci-fi score, wah, 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 like compared to like the like smooth country like music from before, it's such a harsh like weird turn,
yeah.
and it's so like unpleasant, but like it in a way that like feels like looking at your own reflection feels unpleasant in a way. And I honestly that's gonna have my vote for this one.
Okay.
guys.
Yeah.
I think we've said it on the podcast. For me, that moment, I can't. I think I talked a lot about stuff that's very specific to George's interests. That was like the perfect ending for me. Like, in terms of like, I want weird, fucking, kind of horny, fucking whacked out shit, and it's just so slow and delicious and it is great. It's fantastic.
When a sci-fi movie has like an ending scene like this, it like that is one that you remember for like
and it's
the
like
rest of your life.
Yes, it's like fucking
It's
sci-fi.
great.
It's like it's so out there. It's so different. Like if sci-fi, it's like stuff from like outside of our like fucking little sphere here.
Yeah.
And like stuff that like
out of comprehension.
yes, exactly. It is fucking tastic. It's so goddamn good. But man,
Yeah. I would agree.
You would
do
agree?
you think that's the winner?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I
That Hereditary
personally-
is like close
like I
to
love
second.
everything about Hereditary, and that would be my standout moment. But I have no problem with giving it to Annihilation because that is just like surreal ballet art, and it's like.
And I kept thinking, like throughout the year, like that's the moment of
Yeah.
like, man, like fucking shit.
And we saw Annihilation in February.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why I
saw
never
that in theaters like 4 times because I kept going back because I was like, I'm never gonna be able to hear this soundtrack this loud again.
That's true. That is true.
Most slapping in sound fucking track from a soundtrack.
It made my rib cage shake.
So good. Anyways, the final showdown from Annihilation is the best standout moment of 2018.
You heard
Hereditary,
it here first.
Heads Will Roll, and Suspiria Dance Off, also incredibly standout moments. That does it for this first part.
The cold opening came is also really good.
It's not bad. Listen,
It's not bad.
it is a close 4.
Yeah, we don't have to say close.
The booby scene in Slenderman was also really good.
The what?
The booby scene was like blah 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 blah.
Oh, I was like, there wasn't a booby in Slenderman. That was PG-13.
But
yeah.
he basically did like the blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Please stop. Don't do that.
Blah, blah, blah.
So that was the first part. Next time we will be looking at most disappointing, best surprise, best performance, and we will be ranking the top 10 movies of 2018.
Live.
Ryan,
What's up?
if people wanted to say you were right about Cam,
As they should.
where could they find you to say
At
that?
Mr. Pibb official.
Mr. Pibb official, Dr. Mr. Pibb, very, very sex worker friendly.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Carrie.
You can find me at Car, K-A-R_E Lyles, Lyles.
And you can find me at jcruzalvarez26. At this point, I can probably say this. I don't even know when this will come out. It'll come out eventually, but
It'll come out in the year 2019.
yeah, that is very true. But that was the plan all along, so
Oh,
that's
thank
fine.
God.
So,
We're still on track.
Yeah, we're still on track. Yeah, great. So until next time, we are gonna rank top. I think this is gonna be a lot tougher than last year. If we're gonna rank these in order, but I'm excited. It's been good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of trailing off here, but I think it's weird to we're in 2019 right now, and it's always, I think, like 2018, it's been a slow start, but 2018 was a very good year for movies. The stuff that is at the top, I feel unbelievably strong about. So yeah, until the next time, yeah, we will see you that time, I guess. Bye-bye.